Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy, so keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
You speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And how alike sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
Hey, it's the Diaz brothers from Zate Comics, and we're back with our latest campaign, bringing together all the greatest artists and talent that CG has to offer. So take a look at...
Whoa! I'll take it from here, Diaz brothers. What up, people? It's your boy, Mr. CG. Allow me to be your tour guide on the biggest, bounciest beach party book in CG history. CG Vacation! We got bodacious beach spots springing up from the biggest properties in indie comics. Baby, you don't need those guns when you got these guns, you know what I'm saying? Featuring art from the industry's heavy hitters, as well as the best new CG talent. I'm talking Dale Keown, Billy Tucci, Auntie Bear, Shafted Jenny, Rennie Draws, and many more, rubbing ink on hot properties you love, like Pit, Sheep, FirstNet, Sovereign Wolf,
Cyberfrog,
Shanu, the Lucent, Downcast. I could go on and on. And I will. We got Andy Smith, Kelsey Shannon, PTP, Kaylee, Lil Presti, Monster MD, Rage Tully, Graveyard Shift. Yo, on CG Beach, we even got the weebs covered. Or, uncovered. It's gonna be more than 50 pages of pinup perfection, like Penumbra over here. Hey, mamacita, I was just walking by, and I couldn't help but notice. Holy crap, what the hell is that? We're all gonna die! Why are you posing right now? So what are you waiting for? Take a little break and get away with all your faves. You know you deserve it. Back CG Vacation on Indiegogo today. Later, gang. We got Dahl, Robertson, Joe Ball, Sontag, Miriam Diaz, Lawless, Bancroft, Romero, McMahon, Dalton, Casanova. Just too many to mention, dude.
Nosfero, does this word not sound like the death bird culling the living dead at dawn? It is the name both ghouls and demons dare not say, for they know it means death for the undead.
Good morning, come on in. Coffee's good, fresh and hot. There's a waffle in the baker on the grill. We're making bacon. You're always welcome back.
Charge!
There's a fire beneath my skin. There's a fever that makes me ill. Gotta love the love that kills. I got 24 hours to live. Come back. I'm down on my knees. Come back. I'm begging you, please.
What is up, all you fine people? It is great to see you on this fine Wednesday, August 31st. It is the day I am wrapping up this piece, so it is great to be here with all of you guys. I wanted to do a stream every now and again, folks. You start a painting, and you know it's going to be special. You just start working on the thing, and you know it's going to be great. And it is a relief when you find out that you were correct about that. And this painting is something special. It's a huge jump in my work. And I think that there was, you could say the same thing with the cover that I'm working on for Beckoned. It's the same thing. It's just, you get into this particular zone. But I am Shanthan Jetty. This is Shanthan Jetty Art. And thank you guys for being here. Welcome to what I like to call the Waffle Lodge. Let's see who we've got here in the chat, you fine people. Let me see here. All right. Let's see what we got. We got Julie Pascal up first and foremost. It's great to see you, Julie. We've got Cranberry Langers here. Great to see you. You know it, brother. Let's see here. Who else have we got here in the chat? We have got John here. John, how are you doing, my friend? It is great to see you. Thank you so much for always dropping links and being here. American Comics Company. You're always in good company when American Comics Company's in the house. It's good to see you, my friend. Timmy Mello, how are you doing, my friend? Great to see you. Good morning and hail to you, my friend. Lord Crackhead 33, Jeremy, it is great to see you. I hope you're having a great day. I don't know if you're off to work. I'm imagining you're off to work. But I've been keeping track. The buzz around the prequel show for Game of Thrones seems to be good. So I hope you're loving it, man, because I know you're a big fan. I can't claim to have been a massive fan of Game of Thrones because not for not liking it, but from the standpoint of I never really watched it, never, got into that the show, and it seemed like it was going very far before I could get into it. And then all of you people told me I would just be disappointed at the end. So it was one of those things. But I did love the costuming, love the artistry, and I know you're a fan of the books and all of the beautiful paintings and artwork that have been done inspired by it. So as I said to my friend Arvin, who's a massive DC Comics fan, the thing I care about most about any of the movies is if he enjoys them and has a good time with them. And I hope it's the same for you. Mr. Monkey Boy, great to see you, my friend, and hope you're doing well. And let's see, Sean Fair Schneiley, it's good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. And great to have you here in the chat. Like Kick One. Always makes me smile. Always think about those early Double Impact days. And we're going to be having Double Impact again tonight. And our good friend Jericho Green, who is now on the show. We've got a special and exciting new intro. I was really happy to work on it. And it was a blast. Let's see who else we've got here. What's up, Neon Todd Studios? Hey to you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Jonas is here. Good to see you, Jonas. I hope you're doing well. Hi, sir, to you as well. Bad Crow Comics. What is up, Bad Crow Comics? Thank you so much. It is coming out great. And I am really excited with how it's going. Like I said, this is going to be a fun one. Where Nosfero is going and where my artwork is going is beyond anything I thought was going to be possible when I first started this whole process when I was a kid. And it's funny, my first pro job I ever did was when I was 17. So I'd self-published 2 comic books. It was a book called Threshers. Andy Smith worked on the cover for it. And I remember I have no idea. This thing is lost to the ages. But I remember I set up a video camera and recorded myself drawing the last pages of it. And the thing about it was that I was listening to Aerosmith's Get a Grip. And just thinking about that whenever I'm working on a project or wrapping up a comic book job, there's a part of me that always smiles and hears, Aerosmith when I'm working. It just reminds me of fun times, when I was, how old was I? 17. So, when I was just so excited and still am to be doing comic book stuff, and that joy of, wrapping up a project and knowing you've got 22 pages under your belt. And of course, with Nosfero, we're past 22 pages right now. So a lot more, and the sophistication of what I was doing with pen and ink stuff and not even coloring it versus what I'm doing now is night and day. But it's a very pure memory. For anybody who loves comics, they always remember their first professional job. And that's what's so great. You guys are people. Know it. You are people. You people. What do you mean by you people? Indeed. I mean exactly what I'm saying. You fine people. Let's hear Timmy Mello. Some of us might be robots. Ain't that the truth? And we know when they're in the chat. What is up, Cowabunga? Hi, how are you doing? But it's one of those things to where I remember the thing with self-publishing was that when I was self-publishing, when I was printing up comics at 14 and 17, it's not. I was sort of whenever I got the stuff, I was always frustrated because I was always critical of my work. But ever since I was inspired by Ethan and my, backing books and being a part of Comicsgate. And I did those first 2 art books. I was so happy when those came off of the printer and I got them. I think it was the first time that I looked at the work and enjoyed it for what it was. I just had a huge smile on my face and thought, this is the future. So to be doing a comic book and to be doing my first painted comic book for you guys is just kind of beyond my imagining. If I could see this stuff that I'm doing right now for John when I was a kid, it would have blown me away. I got to tell you, the page count of the whole book is about the same. It's going to be about 50 pages, with bonus material being part of that. But I mean, I always say I'm going to keep it safe around 30 because there are situations where it could go over that, or 30 story pages, but there's situations where it could go over that. And I just want to see, like, I've got my layouts all sorted out, but there is one sequence where it dawned on me with this page or this double page spread that I'm doing for John, that there's something I could show that I think could make a hell of a double page spread. And I'm going to kind of, leave it on in terms of what works best for the story and how the pages all line up with what I've already got. But we'll see. Sometimes double page spreads can be so great for scope. They can really and so there's a sequence that a double page spread, I love doing them, by the way, but it's for something like this, like a double page spread painting, I just want to if it's what's required, then I'm going to have to find a way to make it work, because you don't want to leave anything on the table. I tell people that the 2 most important things for me on any project I do is that it get done and that it not be the greatest work of all time, because that I'll ever do, because that's how you get stuck in just murdering the work by rethinking it and rethinking it and thinking it and thinking it. But it's got to be a snapshot of the best of what I was able to do then, and that's big. Hey, what's up, Frog G? Great to see you guys. Thanks for popping in, and I hope you're all leaving a like, and thank you for being here. You have to put a lot into that. Yeah, you've put a lot into the piece. Yes, guys, this is the crazy thing, man. It's yeah, absolutely, I can. Bad Crow Comics. When John asked me to be a part of this book with so many artists that I admire and am fans of, but also, I'm a big fan of John. I'm a big fan of his work ethic, if that makes sense. So I want to make this thing great. Work ethic, you guys know, I play that Denzel Washington quote at the start of most of my streams. And that's how I view things. It really is about hard work for me. It's about, I always tell my wife that when things are tough, and I'm talking about, if I had emergency surgery or anything like that, like I did when I was, I guess I turned 30, was it, when that happened? So, gosh, about 16 years ago now. I always say save 10%. Never let yourself get completely exhausted, because one more thing is going to happen. So I have all these little mantras that I kind of have, or rules that I sort of have in my head, guidelines, dare I say. And they're all designed to make sure that you can give everything you want to give. And when I'm working on this piece, I started working on this. I got John the layout as soon as I could. And then I'm letting the process of painting this, piece kind of breathe a little bit. I want to let it, I don't want to rush it. I want to use all the time I have so I can kind of take little breaks where I work on another painting and then come back and look at it and go, okay, is that where I want it to be? Like things like that skull that you guys can see up there. Yeah, I am God, I hope I've outed myself as an old man sooner. I am an old man, but young at heart, folks. Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm turning, what day is it today? It's the deadline day. So it's 31st. So I'm turning 46 on the 2nd of September. I don't know I think that's Friday, is it, guys? So I'm turning, the 46th birthday is on Friday. And so, yeah, so I mean, it's been a ride, guys, to get to this point. And it's been a lot. I mean, every now and again, you'll see somebody who's got unbelievable painting skills when they're younger, and that is always amazing to see. Always amazing to see. But for me, as a painter and also as someone who's a creator on this stuff, I really don't think I had the life experience or the or the skill set together to do what I'm doing with Nosfero at any other age. So, everything in its own time. There we go. Yeah, she's coming together nice, and did a little bit of adjusting on her that I was planning to do. Sometimes it's where I just moved the rib cage back just a little bit because I want it to be extreme, but it's about how the angles fall. So that's a big thing. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Happy future birthday. Thank you. I appreciate it. Honestly, guys, I'm saying this not in jest. I mean this sincerely. I can't believe it's August 31st, but you know what that means, guys. 2 months till Halloween. Now Shalf is pretending his birthday is September 2nd just because it's my birthday. Listen, Stephen Rockwood, I told people we were born in the same bassinet. Like, we were in the same bassinet in the same incubator. Some say we were switched at birth. But this is the thing for me, it's I told my wife I didn't think I was going to see the other side of 30 as a kid. There's this character on Yellowstone that I love and just reminds me a little bit of myself in some ways. His name is Walker. And when I showed my wife the show for the first time, she goes, "That guy kind of reminds me of you." And I bust out laughing. I thought, oh my God, that's kind of scary. But the character of Walker, at one point, he gets, stabbed. And he says something that just cracked me up. "Your birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Julie Pascal." He gets stabbed, and they go, "All I've got is some numbing agent." The vet said, because they have vets work on these guys. "All I've got is a numbing agent, but it hasn't been, the long-term effects of it on humans hasn't been tested." And he looks at the guy and he goes, "Do I look like I'm gonna see 70?" And I just love that, man. One of my all-time favorite lines from a show, which is essentially, "I don't think I'm going to make it to 70, so we'll see where it goes." And I love that, man. That stuff cracks me up. "Oh, your father's was yesterday and your aunt's is today. Well, happy birthday to both of them, American Comics Company." Walker, Texas Ranger. No, not quite, but still good. But yeah, Yellowstone is some good stuff. It's the writing on it is cracks me up. The gentleman who writes the show is very much outside of certain bubbles. He's got the #1 show, which is great, but he actually makes a reference to, he plays himself because he started as an actor, or he doesn't play himself, sorry, but he's an actor in his own series. And at one point he's driving somewhere, and this made me like him more. He goes, "You know what the best movie of all time is? Roadhouse." And I freaking died that he wrote that for himself. We're going to be talking about Roadhouse tonight on Double Impact with Jericho Green and, of course, Gabe and I. And we're looking forward to it. When we started that show, I don't know how long ago now, months and months ago, we had no idea what it was going to turn into and how things were going to go. And that's a great part of it. That's what makes it so fun, Let's see here. Yeah, my father's just said, "Well, apparently 9 months ago is a significant time frame for couples." Yes, I think it is. Yeah, it must be. It absolutely must be. Spring has sprung. Is that what it is? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is. It must be a significant time. Yeah, a lot of stuff. I've met a lot of people with September birthdays. I think Ethan's is coming up too, but I can't recall. I don't know if his is on the 3rd or on the 1st, but I think his is around the same time as mine. But I can't remember offhand. But I've met a lot more people with September birthdays since I've gotten older. I mean, most people's birthdays, I used to get annoyed because my birthday was before the school year started, where I was coming up. So it was like, it was always like everybody missed my birthday. They were on vacation or getting back from a vacation, so I could never do anything with my friends per se, but that's all right. But yeah, man, it's crazy how many people I've met with September birthdays. Let's see who we've got here. Yeah, this Taylor Sheridan, Sicario was great. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Taylor's great. Let me see here. Be nice until it's time to not be nice. Greatest quote ever. September 2nd. No, I think he's the 3rd. Yeah, it's 3rd. Yeah. There you go. So he's the day after mine. No kidding. I feel like I know somebody whose is the first, and I always get his confused with the first. But yeah, happy early birthday to EVS. It's going to be, hopefully it's been a great year for him. I know it's been a great year for me, guys. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for being in my corner. I started this year, and what a great birthday present to see the Cyberfrog trading card I did for Ethan hitting people's mailboxes and people taking it. That was one of the many kind of fortuitous things, like to have started and be wrapping up year 46, which is what your birthday is, how many years you've completed. So I've completed 46 years on this planet. To be wrapping it up, and one of the reasons I like finishing this up today, to be wrapping it up, double page spread for John Malin. If you had told me that's what I was going to be doing, when on my 45th birthday, that's what I was going to be doing leading up to my 46th, I would have been like, okay, sure. I don't know if I would have believed it, because it was just so many things were going on, and I hadn't even launched Nosfero yet. I didn't know how Nosfero was going to do. And, if it was going to fund, for heaven's sake, man, I mean, it's you go into this, guys, to say that doing this and leaving my job was a leap of faith is putting it mildly. And it was for all the reasons that I've listed out. It wasn't because, I'm going to go make $1 million in Comicsgate. My goal is to make this thing as big as possible. Don't get it twisted. But the reason why, I made this decision to do what I'm doing was so much about the principle of the thing. And I was watching Clifton Duncan talk about, his leap of faith, and Gina Carano talking about, just the experience of realizing that this, you can't keep silently doing something. And really inspired me. It gets off the birthday present. Back Nosfero. Oh, much appreciated. Yeah, happy birthday to the Frog Father as well. Let's see here. My better half is in September. That's excellent. Yeah, my better half is in February. Refuse to use the word prezzies as a man. There you go. Keanu Reeves and Salma Hayek, yes, are September 2nd birthdays. Yeah, I did know that. Salma hasn't called me in a while. Like, what's up with that, Salma? Yeah, that's not too bad of 2 birthdays to have. And speaking of, Point Break is a movie that we've got to do on Double Impact too. Really want to do that movie. Point Break is I quoted that movie so much, and I still do, and my wife cracks up. Rosie, he's just like a mechanism. Still makes me laugh to hear God rest Patrick Swayze say that. He's what a great actor we lost there. I wish he was around so we could be celebrating the Roadhouse and all the great movie accomplishments that he was responsible for. There we go. Getting these guys' faces in there. Yeah, this piece is, the goal when I was doing, Nosfero, and the goal when I do my art books is to try to capture that energy and that verve of great, fantasy artwork, and what I love about Mobius, what I love about Frazetta, what I love about all these cats. And to see it, it's not like I had no, evidence that it could materialize, but to see it materializing to this degree, I got to tell you, is something. It's you guys see a little bit of the whole setup today. Let me see here. We have got a question here. Shant, is all of this brush work, or do you use a pen too? It's I use a pen for some of the, like, every now and again, like on the underneath of the painting when I'm trying to get an edge in there. But I stopped using a pen weeks ago. So this is all brush. Everything you're seeing is acrylic paint. It's what it does for the surface. It keeps the reflective nature of the painting good. It helps for scanning. And like when I'm doing fine line work on these vampires who are kind of watching the proceedings, it helps for me to have a less reflective media than, say, ink. So, and it also allows me to get all those textures. I mentioned this on the last stream for people who were here. But one of the aspects of this painting was that the door that the creature comes through in every single one of these stories is a simplified version of, or a more iconographic version of the creature that's behind the door. And I love the idea of, at various points in this Nosfero world, characters stumbling upon a door and thinking, what the hell is that going to look like when the door opens? Do you know what I mean? Yours is in February. Excellent. Wow, my gosh, that's great. Same as the missus. Same day as brother Alice Cooper. There you have it, man. Excellent. YouTube channel for American Comics Company. Thank you, John. I need to ask Stanley. Stanley Genius overrated or maybe both? I think it depends on the bar for Genius, but I think it's I would put him in the same category as people like Walt and Roy Disney. I think that without Stan, none of this stuff would have happened. He was the engine. He was the guy who got it going, and I think that it's Ub Iwerks is a genius. Walt Disney couldn't have done Steamboat Willie or any of those productions without Ub Iwerks. But we saw Ub Iwerks on his own, and we saw Jack Kirby on his own, and I think that's one of those cases where the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, and I think that's why you get the Marvel universe from it, guys. I mean, that's huge. So yeah, I think both of those men, and Steve Ditko, of course, too, all of those people who worked on that stuff should be credited. But it's sort of like when we ask ourselves, who are the most important figures in CG, or for me, when I think about Malin's contributions, Malin and Ethan said this. I remember Ethan saying this a lot on his stream early on. He's like, you guys need to make sure you thank John Malin, because he was the first former industry guy over that wall, who said, I'm going to take a job, as a part of this. And that book that your boy Zach did was the first book to come out. And without seeing that, and by the way, I would say the same, God, that's the irony, or because I know John is a big Rob Liefeld fan. Rob was the first person to go to Malibu and put out pre-orders for a book. And I remember at the time, the writer Fabian, I forget what his name is, or Fabian something, who was working with him on X-Force, was like going, I just think Rob is being very unprofessional. But and I think he drew the Image Comics logo, if I'm not mistaken, too. And without him, none of that stuff would have happened. Todd was looking to do like hockey cards or something like that with cartoon drawings. I think he was kind of burnt out. And, he had ideas and everything like that. But when you look at the history, there's certain people who contribute a lot. Stan Lee, without Fantastic Four and making the decision to do that comic, where are we? I don't know. Let me see here. All right, good. So making sure I'm caught up. So yeah, I mean, I think that but like all things, everything is a collection of characters, right? It's in Comicsgate and everything. Like what the biggest shortcoming, in my personal opinion, that Image Comics had is Image Comics did a terrible job of cultivating, and I mean really cultivating, the next generation of artists. And that's something that is really tricky. There was a mentoring kind of thing, and I don't mean like, here's how you draw. There was a mentoring thing that happened in Marvel and DC and the mainstream of artists. Even Frazetta was, mentored by Roy Krenkel and so many of those great artists. And Krenkel was the person who, had him ghosting on his work and then helping him get his foot in the door. There was this great sort of mentoring. And I think that in some of the studios, Wildstorm, obviously, Extreme, there was some mentoring. But as far as finding people who have, and it's not a lot of people who have what it takes to create their own character, do great artwork, and do standout stuff, that's a trickier part. And I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's, something that they could control or anything like that. But I really do hope that we can help to grow a much more robust, high quality, independent movement here. Just like manga is, there's no shortage of artists there. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. Dragon Pisces, there's a Dragon Pisces YouTube channel. Do check it out. I would have loved to have seen, there were people who came up, but they just didn't have that comic book sort of thing. But I think that they also suffered from the fact that it's much harder to find artists before, you know, it's hard now, but it's much harder to find artists during the pre-internet era, which is when they were coming out. We can find artists all over the world, and we can share techniques, and it's, you know, very much the steel sharpening steel thing. You know, it's if you don't have a lot of great artists around you, you can improve. And if you don't have people who are, you know, raising the bar. And I always look at the artists who inspire me, the greats, and that's who I don't want to say I compete against them at all, but I hold my work to that standard. It's not just about doing a pretty painting or a decent composition or any of that stuff. It's about creating an iconic image. And when I think about Frank Frazetta, that's what Frazetta did. He created iconic image after iconic image after iconic image. He just cranked that stuff out. And if you think about it, how many fantasy artists can you point to? And I think the same thing goes with N.C. Wyeth and Howard Pyle and all those guys. See if I can crack my back here. There we go. A little bit better. Osamu Tezuka, Todd McFarlane. How many iconic covers has Todd McFarlane drawn? How many iconic covers has Rob Liefeld drawn? Or them collaborating together? Travis Charest has had his share of iconic work in books. Jim Lee certainly has. But that's something that goes beyond just, you know, the pretty pictures thing. And so, you know, it's not always about doing everything, quote unquote, right, or, you know, doing stuff that's like, well, there were no mistakes in it. It's really about getting into a zone. It's like a guitar solo or something like that. And knowing how to make that happen. All right, let's see. Where's the purple here? Got all my tubes of paint here in like a little wooden bowl here. There's the blue. Must have taken it and thrown it over here. Where is it? No, that's the CAD. There we go. Dioxazine purple. It's what's for dinner. Yeah, Dave Finch speaks well of mentoring at Top Cow. I've heard that too. I've heard Top Cow had some great mentoring, and you had some great colorists. I think Brian Haberlin was at Top Cow before he went to work on Spawn for a bit and work with Todd. I think Haberlin was at Top Cow. But yeah, I mean, Finch's stuff is great too. I mean, he's very in touch, man. I mean, that's he's very connected to the process and the discipline of it and the craft of what we do. You know, I always liked what Zab Judas said about Floyd Mayweather when someone said, "What's Floyd Mayweather's secret?" And Zab Judas said, "Floyd's secret is he trains like he's broke." I love that expression. No matter how successful you get, train like you're broke. And that's the key. And so for me, that kind of hunger and that kind of work ethic, whether you're going to a convention or you're streaming or you're doing anything, sometimes it can be difficult, but you want to make sure that you're dialed in. I mean, when I taught, I will say this, when I was in 18 years of teaching, I definitely had off days, and there were days where I really tried to, to take it easy, but I always taught my ass off, and I was really concerned with how every student got something out of the semester. And that's not something a lot of people can sustain for decades, and you've got to be, the second I feel like I can't give 100% to something, it's time to move on. It's time to, it's like, if it's not right, and if I'm like, I can't, do this in good conscience or whatever else, it's time to get out of Dodge. Cause I don't like having to fake it. There's a difference between having discipline and, going against what your principles are. And, it isn't discipline to do something that is wrong, and keep doing it even though you don't want to. That's a whole nother kettle of fish right there, kids. Let's see. We've got Andy Smith's core draft. Yeah, what a great artist and what a cool dude. Much love to Andy Smith. Let me see here. Yes. And let's see. Eric DeGuapo, great to see you, my friend. You're darn right, man. That's how we do. It's got to be beautiful. And Shanth, you might appreciate the YouTube channel Spine Care. Yeah, seriously, I do. My favorite channel is that guy, Dr. Bo Hightower, the chiropractor, who snaps people like like it's going out of style. And I'll tell you what, that's one of my dreams is is to have that guy take a look at me, see if he could fix anything going on with my arm and shoulder. Because when you guys know the drill, when your arm is shaped like that, it's going to cause you some arthritic problems. It's just the lay of the land. You can't be doing that, kids. Avoid it. Avoid it if you can. That's what I always say. That's my motto. That's my bit of advice for this fine morning, is avoid that kind of thing. Let me see here. Let's clean up that edge just a little bit. I just want to make sure that any area like this one in particular that's going to catch the viewer's eye, I make sure that I get some of those edges cleaned up, because it's a clean edge. A blurry edge is like show in some ways can be used to show and is used to show something being somewhat out of focus. And a clean edge kind of tells you that that's where your eye is focused, or where it should focus in a painting. So it's kind of, speaking to, how your eye naturally wants to perceive things. And that's the goal. To have an accident. No, I don't know. The current working, the working theory is that I had it on purpose when I was an infant. Is what it is. Life isn't always a cakewalk, but there was plenty of stuff that happened after that. But this was the stuff that was, before all that stuff. It's kind of basically, it's an old healed bucket handle break, so it healed crooked. So what are you going to do? You can't really do something about that when that happens, when you're young. But yeah, so I mean, it wasn't as it was more of a funny conversational piece, frankly, until arthritis hits when you get older. But what are you gonna do? Oh, birds are singing outside. Isn't that lovely? My daughter has a rabbit, and he is up to all kinds of shit upstairs. He keeps trying to get into her bookshelf and pushing books out of her bookshelf, and it cracks me up because I can just hear them. He's trying to get to some food that he's not supposed to be having, and he is just up to no good. You can hear it. Let's see here. I ordered the Cyberforce Omnibus from Amazon last night, since I have an aversion to Kickstarter. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that should be really cool to see. I wonder what those books would look like when for me to see them now, because I have such strong memories of that stuff, getting those books off the rack. Like, I remember when I got the Wildcats issue when Jim Lee came back after the miniseries, and it had that fold out page of, like, I think it was Zealot. And it just was like 4 pages. It felt like it just went on forever. And it was just this huge Jim Lee drawing. And I love that, man. Like, that as a kid, that was just some of the coolest stuff. In a lot of ways, I think that I don't have an idea of what it should look like, but I'm very excited to get John's Malin's Godlike, because it sounds to me as that he's pouring his soul into it. And so when you guys see the stuff I do here and the stuff I'm doing for Nosfero, what you're seeing is what you're seeing is what I love about comics, right? And the thing about comics is, everybody, there's something about comics that everybody will see and have their own, take on what they think of comics as. And so when you see a lot of your CG creators doing their comics the way that you guys allow us to, which is with no interference from, editorial, telling you, you can't show that, you can't draw that, you can't put that together. This is how it has to go. You're getting an honest look at what people, or what your creators you're backing, how they define comics and what inspires them about comics, man. And that's, that to me is worth the price of admission. So yeah, Godlike, I can't wait to see. Really enjoyed Tiger Blue. Love the stuff that Vaughn is doing. I love the stuff everybody's doing, to be perfectly honest with you. That I'm backed. There's probably maybe some stuff out there I haven't seen yet, but the stuff I've seen, I liked First Man 1 and 2. Let's see, Cyberfrog, I really enjoyed. Let's see, Lost Pages and Lost Pages 2 have been really fun to check out. I'm just looking to see what books I have kicking around. Oh, of course, Battle Brick Road. I feel like there's I don't know if we have Image Beat in terms of in that first couple of years having a lot of properties that people know that are of quality, but I would wager to say we might. Hey, what's up, Scottsley? Good to see you, my friend. Hey, Lord Crackhead 33, I wanted to ask you while I've got you here. Hopefully you haven't had to bounce. Are you enjoying House of Dragons? Because I haven't seen it, but I hope you're loving it. I hope it's great, and I hope they stick the landing on it if you're liking it. But great to see you, Scottsley, and everybody. Son of Liberty Radio, great to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, man, I love what we're doing here, and I love how motivated and passionate everybody is. I can't wait to see the Cyberfrog toys. I know that was a lifelong, a dream deferred for Ethan with, the Playmates thing falling through during that kind of heyday of comics. And I'm sure that was kind of gut wrenching, but I think it was all for it to happen at the right time. And I think that there's no way Playmates could have competed with what Ethan's doing in terms of the detailing on those figures now and the posability and the sculpt. The technology has moved forward so much and our expectations have changed. I just think it's great. Quality Books would say it might be close. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. I think it is close. Yes, enjoying it yeah, man. Awesome. Yeah, I was comparing you to this my really good friend Arvin, who is he's an animator out on the West Coast, terrific guy. One of those guys who is sort of like, frankly, how you and I are. Like, you feel like you know him and you're like, my God, like, I met him and he's what you see is what you get with my brother. And he loves, and Hail Frog G. Yeah, CG also has Image Beat the diversity of genre. You're right, we do. But he loves DC Comics movies. And so my attitude is, when it comes to measuring DC Comics movies, if he loves it and he enjoys it and it's great for him, then I feel great about it because I know it's something that he loves. And it's like, I've been thinking about with all the House of Dragon stuff I've been hearing, which has been positive. The main person I want to enjoy it is you, brother, because I know you read the books, you love the art, you love the painting, you are a dyed-in-the-wool fan of this stuff, and you deserve a great show, man. You deserve a great show, and that's absolutely important, to me. I like to see my friends happy, man, with the stuff that they're into. So I'm really glad to hear that. I was talking to my wife about it, the other day, because she goes, "Have you heard about this Game of Thrones show?" Because it's, it's everywhere. It's like huge pop culture phenomenon. But I go, yeah. And I said, and I hope my friend Jeremy likes it because, and she knows you, Jeremy, of course, you've come up before, shockingly, as is often the case in Comicsgate. But I was talking to her and I said, I really hope you like it because I told her, I was like, he's like my brother Vin, as far as, with DC Comics. It's like, he's loved Superman since he was a kid, and he's just the biggest DC Comics fan, and I always want him to enjoy this stuff. And, that world, Game of Thrones, is such a rich world. And, I remember seeing Jeff Jones's beautiful paintings for Game of Thrones and some of the limited edition books, and it's great stuff. Oh, hey, brother. Of course. Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. It's been fun covering it on the channel. Just hit my first 100K video. You're kidding. Congratulations, dude. Jeremy, that's so great. Hold on a second. I know I'm not supposed to do this unless I get a super chat, but by God, Jeremy, this is congratulations for your 100K.
Charge!
Well deserved. Congratulations, brother. I'm so happy for you. That's great. Yeah. Oh shoot, everything. I gotta find the rest of that. Oh, it took EVS losing, everything, his legacy in DC to gain everything. His dream was Cyberfrog. Yeah, amen, man. I wish that guy, and of course, like, I can tell him this. It's not like he's, off somewhere in a foreign land, but I always am sending good vibes his way because he deserves it. Yeah, Frog G. Congratulations, Jeremy. Yeah. Share the link and hit the like. Amen. Yeah, charge indeed. Yeah, those cheerleaders are for you, brother. It's the same thing, man. You think about the stuff that when the Tug went through, you think about the stuff that all these creators go through, but it's when you're living in an environment where people cannot be happy for your successes, then to me, it's just like, it's time to get out. It's not worth it. I mean, I'm glad to be in a place where we can celebrate our successes, because one of the things Jordan Peterson, each other's successes too. One of the things Jordan Peterson said that was really profound to me is he said, the ultimate way to tell if you've got friends or not is if they are genuinely excited for you when you're successful and they help you to celebrate your successes. And it was interesting hearing Jordan say that on whatever it was. I forget what it was, filmed in his classroom. So it was one of his older videos, but it was an edit that someone had done, to kind of pull it out of a longer video. I saw that and I looked around at where I was in my life and who I was working with. And I knew right then that all of the people that I had around me at work, I did not feel confident that I was around people who ever could be happy for things going well. And that's a real check up from the neck up moment where you kind of have to sit back and kind of go, okay, what am I doing? How do I get to a better place? And sometimes it's taking that leap of faith, and everybody, when you're starting a YouTube channel and everything like that, you don't know where it's going to go. And you hope that there's people out there who share your passions and care about this stuff, but you never know. Yeah. Who said crackheads are lazy and unproductive? Yeah. Lord knows Jeremy isn't, man. It's, and I just, again, guys, when you see people like Jeremy, and Jeremy is such a positive and enthusiastic person, I always say this: enjoy it and appreciate it, and realize that it is something that the more life experience you have, I've had a hell of a lot of life experience. I imagine Jeremy has too. The more your positivity means something, it's genuine, it's legit. By the way, let's see here. By the way, I love the musculature on the woman. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that. It's one of my big heroes. I have a giant book of his that could fall over and kill me dead. Is Michelangelo, and I always loved how the Ninja Turtle, and of course the artist. I love how he pushed his anatomy in such a way that it was like hyper romantic and like the Greek tradition. I always thought it was great. If people never follow up with big things in your life, they usually don't care. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Functioning crackhead. That's right. Yeah, because someone asked me one time, I think it was a student back when I was teaching, asked me, like, what are you a fan of? Like, what's the thing you're the biggest fan of? And I remember saying to somebody, I'm actually a really big fan of other people's enjoyment and excitement about things. So I know what I'm a fan of in terms of, like, I love Godzilla, I love monsters, Universal monster movies, love Halloween, love all that stuff. But when it comes to a lot of the stuff I follow on YouTube could be people sharing their passion for things. And I really do think that's the key, not faking it. Jeremy has been ride or die with Game of Thrones and this universe forever. And so he's not just jumping on some bandwagon. He means it, man. You know what I mean? He means it. And you got to mean it. I've loved art and I've loved comics. I don't have to fake liking comics. Like when people talk about, oh, what do you think of the new She-Hulk show? Or what do you think? Never read She-Hulk. Never got into it. Do you know what I mean? But I'm dumb. You're right. Never got into She-Hulk comics. Wasn't into John Byrne stuff. It just is. So I'm not going to go and say, oh, wow. Like, I mean, I'm a big fan of this. It is what it is. But if someone asks me about Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, Scott Williams, Wills, Dave Stevens, Bernie Wrightson, all of these cats, I could talk all day on that stuff. And Wallywood, I could just go down this list of artists. Mike Sex, Punisher Run. I was there for that stuff, so I don't have to fake it. And I don't know why anyone would. or I guess, when comics, before the Hollywood, which is rapidly losing interest in it, once Hollywood got interested in comics, it gained a air of status about it when celebrities showed up. So we got people who wanted to be around celebrities and wanted to dress up in superhero costumes like celebrities. They didn't want to dress up in the costumes like the way the characters looked at the time. They wanted to, kind of try to dress like the popular kids, dare I say. And for the rest of us who have been a part of this forever, we're like, why can't I get a Thor story with Beta Ray Bill in it? Those are the questions that we're having. Like, that would be awesome. Let's do that. But it's that's not how these folks work. But I just don't, when it comes to, here's something for you. Star Wars. I could talk Star Wars with somebody all day. I am a massive, beyond massive Star Wars fan. Now, here's the thing. And this is where Anna would probably turn inside out, but it is what it is. I'm not a fan of the expanded universe, but everything around the doesn't mean I don't like it. I bought a couple of things, bought the comic adaptations, and things like that. But when it comes to things like the Star Wars radio dramas, anything surrounding the movies, the creators who worked on it, I will take the Pepsi challenge with anybody. I know that stuff backwards and forward. Semi-functioning. Oh, yeah, shoot, I'm not going to throw stones in that glass house, Jeremy. I think I fall into the semi-functioning myself, brother. But I didn't even know till recently that Jeff Jones did some Game of Thrones paintings, and they're not like in the stylistic that I think you'd like, Jeremy, to be honest. But they're great paintings. There's no getting around it. I think Frank Frazetta said Jeff Jones is the greatest living painter. So you can't get much better of a compliment than that. From the big man himself. But I love fantasy art. I love Star Wars stuff. I was, I'm one of those people who was playing, before they even started with all those expanded universe books. I was, getting the role-playing, miniatures for that role-playing game and all that other cool stuff that were coming out in the early 90s, and just, I was living from every, if George Lucas comes back and makes more Star Wars movies, what are they going to be about? And I followed everything. I had a subscription to Star Wars Insider magazine back when it was fun. And, yeah, all that stuff. So, yeah. Like, when I see, when I watch the end of The Phantom Menace, I know that the little person who is grabbing the reins on the creature of the Gungan mount at the celebration is Dan Madsen. And Dan Madsen was the guy who was the editor-in-chief of Star Wars Insider for all those years. So, yeah, for those of us who were there and it was a big part of our lives, it's definitely been tough to watch what happened with that franchise. But again, if that had not happened, would not have found the Phantom Menace, would not have found Comicsgate, would not have found, and comics, I don't even know if we'd be here if comics were still doing what they were supposed to be doing, if people weren't being, canceled. So, grateful for it all. Those late night runs of Ethan's to cathartically take down Rose Tico, those things will do. Darth Bane. I remember Darth Bane. I did an illustration of Darth Bane, trying to make it look more like a movie version of it. I don't have it, but man, I remember that character. What? The EU is the best. See, so I do know some expanded universe. Fine. But I created some crazy shit. Influenced by that. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it here. One sec. I can find this. It will be funny. Nope. Okay. Shit. I can't find it. But let's just say I did my share of Star Wars artwork. Hell, I even met with the art director back during the prequel era, or just after the prequel era. I went out to Lucasfilm and met with someone about work. I've been to Skywalker Ranch twice. I went to, I did a piece that I sent to this guy named Ian Morris, who was an editor at Lucasfilm at the time. He commissioned me to do a piece for a proposal he was trying to do for a picture book that they were working on and trying to develop. So yeah, I was all over the place with that stuff, man. Love that stuff. Careful now, Shant. You might conjure up Darth Bogantis. He should be asleep at this hour, man. He should be asleep at this hour. But I remember when I went to Skywalker Ranch, and my kids had just been born, and my wife basically was like, "You've been doing such a great job taking care of us. Go get some rest. Go spend some time with your boys." It was a tough post-pregnancy, health-wise for her. And so I did my job. You got to do your job. But then she was like, "Babe, go get a break." And I went out there, and when I was at the Lucasfilm store that they have there, where I got the Skywalker Ranch T-shirts and caps and stuff that we got when we went out there, because a friend of ours was working on was one of the first hires for Lucasfilm Animation back in the day. Hold on a second. What is going on with that? Connection is unstable. It's an Ethernet connection, so it should not be unstable, kids. Hang on a second. That is very weird. That should not be happening. So I'm going to have to ponder what that was. Maybe something was becoming unstowed. There we go. But yeah, Darth Mickey took over. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Careful now. You might conjure up Darth Bogantis. That is true. The ancient lore of the Jedi. Yes. I love it. See, yeah, I love that stuff. I will tell you, I didn't play it because I was never good at video games. But I loved all of the art and the concept stuff for the first Knights of the Old Republic. I thought that was a absolutely amazing looking world they did. That stuff was really cool. So yeah, definitely a big fan. But I'm the same way with Frazetta. Your computer is calling you unstable now. Yeah, it is, and it's correct to think so. I want to see something. Hang on one quick second. Let me stop my cam. You guys can still hear me, hopefully, but I just want to check and see. My family has a tendency to. I love them. Let me just add, I love them. But sometimes they turn on this printer that we have in the next room. It's like some Canon inkjet thing the kids use, and I swear to God, when that thing turns on and is printing, the lights in our house dim. It's nuts, and it's doing it again. What the hell is going on? I have an Ethernet line in here. This is absolutely crazy. What the heck is going on? What is happening? Connection unstable if you're on. I'm not on Wi-Fi, kiddos. Let me see if I can get that thing in there. Let's see. Maybe that's what it is, or who knows? Maybe there's something up. We'll see. At least you had Luke Skywalker in the extent. Yes, you did. Yeah, in the Disney sequels. Yeah, you had a real character. I mean, I was one of those people. Yeah, you ain't kidding, John. My husband worked in IT out of Skywalker Ranch during the first and second episodes 1 and 2. It was pretty cool. Yeah, there was so much activity. So my kids were born in 2005. So I went out there in 2006 because they were born in October. And the vitality of that place and all of the stuff going on. I mean, I ate in the Skywalker Ranch cafeteria. I saw this great artwork. Saw Rob Coleman, the animator who I knew from all the behind the scenes features on those flicks. It was a great time. It was a really great time going out there. And I'm glad I got to see it when it was still proper Lucasfilm, before the dark times, before the Kennedy. It was so great to be there. Because I for me, on another level, one of my biggest heroes, Joseph Campbell, the late mythologist who influenced it. Hey, what's up, Howls XD? Good to see you, my friend. KOTOR is amazing from 1 and especially 2. Sith Lords were dope. Yeah, I believe it. Absolutely. Hello, Hex Allen. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, it's great. Great to have all you guys here. Hit the like and thanks for swinging by, guys. I'm always shocked when people show up, and there's Hex Allen's YouTube channel. I'm always shocked when people show up to these streams. I'm just sitting here painting, but I try to remind myself every now and again, with Double Impact later tonight and all that stuff, to just get in some hours painting with you guys and bring something, chill to listen to while you're at work or waking up in the morning, getting your coffee. But yeah, man, I love art so much, and I love fantasy and imagination and all of that stuff. I mean, I'm a massive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, from starting with the comics by Eastman and Laird. I still love that stuff. And so, comics are in my blood. And I will tell you this, guys, I am a massive Comicsgate fan. because Comicsgate reconnected me with my passion for comics. It reconnected me with, I mean, it was a tough thing to realize that, you know, the industry, all of the gatekeeping that Razorfist talks about in his Become the Culture, when he describes what it was like when he watched people showing their art portfolios and the resentful snark of editors reviewing them, it was practically describing my experience. You just get to a point to where you have so many near misses and so many of those experiences. You're like, I'm out of here, man. You know, like this is ridiculous. And I had to kind of, you know, just say it's not worth the struggle of dealing with the bullshit. I mean, it was crazy because I knew I was doing really good work. And I was getting, you know, really great, you know, reviews on this stuff. And when I say great reviews, I mean, call me when you get out of college, I'll have some work for you. But those things never materialized because the industry was contracting and it just became more and more difficult. So by the time I did get, you know, work in the industry, I had 2 kids and it wasn't great timing. So Comicsgate came at the right time, and it would have taken something as significant and something as inspiring as Comicsgate for me to go back and be genuinely passionate about making a comic book. And because it's a ton of work, and when your heart gets broken, man, by the frustrations of going for something. I'm a very pragmatic person. I don't just just do things to do them, and my passions for things run deep. So for someone like me to walk away from teaching, it was painful to watch the bigotry and prejudice being taught to students in terms of CRT and all that Marxist garbage. Well, comics, thank God, came back into the fray for me and inspired me to do this stuff, and made me realize, like, I can't even tell you guys what it was like. It has been such a oxygen filling into your lungs. Fine, I've made more friends in Comicsgate than I ever did in 18 years of teaching, and that it's like people who just want to use you for shit, and are full of shit in a lot of ways. And I've met some really great people. The librarian at the school I used to work, she was just a wonderful person. She actually left the school the same year her partner had passed away. The fella in her life for many, many years had passed away. And I totally understand. But also, I think they were starting to weigh in on decolonizing the bookshelves in the library. And she was the person. She was the amazing person who ordered all of the books you want the library to order. Manga, comics. She bought the 2 giant volume Ralph McQuarrie art books. Such a great, great person. And when I heard she left, I was like, the soul of this place is just dead. And it's been replaced by bureaucratic assholes. And art school in general has been filled by so many people who can't draw and paint and just have a political agenda, much like comics in the mainstream industry. So it was to find people who I can talk and they make some kind of sense is great, where we can talk about stories and heroism, that we can look up at objectively awful stuff and acknowledge that it is not good, and look at objectively good stuff and say that it's good. I mean, that's the great weakness of, the resentful people in these industries. When they're giving out Eisner Awards, they're putting someone like Alex Ross on the level of people drawing stick figures. And that's not good for an industry. It makes you go nuts. Can we get the time and weather update while we listen? You absolutely can. What are you... I feel like you guys don't realize how committed I am to this stuff. I'm here for you, people. All right. So right now in Bristol, Rhode Island, it's 76 degrees. It's sunny. The high today is expected to be 86 degrees with a low of 65. Partly cloudy conditions expected till around 2 p.m. Let me know, man. What do you guys need? Let's give the weather for B-Rose, if you guys don't mind. In Houston, Texas, right now, it's 81 degrees. The high today is expected to be 91 degrees with a low of 76 degrees. Everybody in Houston can expect partly cloudy conditions from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. with isolated thunderstorms expected around 5 p.m. Yeah, just let me know what you guys need. Just let me. I'm here for you guys. That's why I'm here. I got the best of both worlds. A desk security job, excellent. A sketchbook in front of me, and this waffle stream going to pass the time. Hail to me, Mello, and much appreciated for the kind words. Yeah, check out Razorfist's YouTube channel. He's doing yeoman's work, and he refuses to be black-pilled. He's not naive, but he makes the case, man. Through torture, Sean finally admitted Art School Confidential is a documentary about art schools. No, I mean, I knew that from the second I saw it. Like attracts like. You're absolutely right, Sean. Like that. Bless sounds like a wonderful day. Absolutely right. It is a wonderful day. Yeah, there's B Rose, my main man in Houston. Good to see you, B Rose. Actually, I got to give love to David Dominguez's Cerebrum Volume 1. Good old B Rose. Do check it out, guys. It's right there. The link is in the chat. I do want to say, though, my main man in Houston, no offense to B Rose, is my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law, who works in the steel industry, is a really good dude, and we both had childhoods that make a man out of you. If you bother to put the work in, to pull yourself forward. And he was the person who, when I was talking to him about Comicsgate and launching Nosfero, we sat out in the patio of his house, and I just made the decision to leave my job, and I was like, this is what I handed in my resignation before I went out to see him in Houston. So Houston has a very special, I was born in Houston, so let's start there. But I have a big connection with Houston, and he just sat there with me, and we just talked about it, and he said, something that I got from Drunk 3PO. Sometimes you feel like the universe is wonderfully conspiring to lift you up. And Drunk 3PO had just done a video that he titled "Burn the Boats," and then my brother-in-law, without knowing that, echoed the same sentiment when I saw him. My brother-in-law was just a great dude. Like we're very close. His childhood hero that helped him through a lot in terms of just being inspired by him was Kobe Bryant. When he passed away, I did a painting for him, which I think I've shown you guys on my Instagram. But there's some great people out there, you know what I mean? And Drunk 3PO was building houses and may still very well be, for orphanages and for orphans and things like that. I mean, there's some good people out in this world. And when you find them, Gina, Clifton Duncan, when you find them, you're like, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what it's about. So I'm really am grateful for, the craziness, because I think sometimes, what is it that Denzel Washington says? Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Well, the hardship of all of this stuff that I've experienced in the last, 5, 6, since birth, but really the stuff that's related to this in the last, last 4 or 5 years. Without that stuff, I wouldn't have made the progress that I've made. And so, yeah, I think Denzel is 100% spot on. I'm sitting here doing a double page spread for Michigan's own John Malin. Cyberfrog trading card is coming at all of you guys who are members of, I think, Ethan's channel or Patreon. I'm not exactly sure which one it's for. But yeah, it's coming your way. And that's all from making big decisions, bold decisions, and standing up on principle. And I don't think Nosfero would be where it is. We're going to get to 30K, and Eric Weathers is going to letter that book. God is my witness. That is the job, and we're going to get it done. Period. We are going to get that book to 30K, and I'll tell you why. It's because all of you guys in the chat and all of you folks in CG want to see it happen. And I can, when I get up to work and I'm doing this stuff, I can feel you guys and your support, for this book and for this project and everything that we're doing here. And I appreciate it. And I don't take it lightly. And I know we're going to get there. It just is what it is. So, I mean, the things that have happened already have been have been the hard part of it. You got to come up with the idea. You got to come up with the book. You got to know it's the idea that you want to put in that kind of time on. Fully painted comic books, you don't see a lot of them for a reason, particularly traditionally. So you got to want it. You got to want to put in more work than you can even fathom when you're doing this stuff. But, when I look at the stack of pages that I have done on this book, it's like when the majority of the book is done and you're looking at it, you know you did the right thing and you've got what it takes to make it happen. So yeah, it's been awesome, guys. Thank you guys for being here. I mean it. Those demons look like they're coming out of an opium den. You ain't even kidding. Yeah, these guys, I'm not saying they're crackheads. I'm saying they're crackish, to quote Jamie Foxx. The crazies are saying the things out loud now. They feel emboldened by circumstances, but fail to understand reality. Oh yeah, I mean, you know, Michael and I talked about that on that late night stream. I mean, it's actually, I don't know. I mean, it's a little unnerving, but you know, when you hear people saying the the silent part out loud, I always say when people's mania takes them to the point to where they can't keep it in anymore, you see a lot. You see a lot of nuttiness come out. And there have been a lot of people who have just been letting their crazy out because they want to, what the hell is this thing? File, open with, let's see, preview here. I'm just looking at the digital sketch of this to make sure there's nothing that I left out that I want to make sure I put in here, because the sketch is where you kind of put them, you know, the bones down of this thing. But yeah, I mean, you're seeing people who are like, what's weird to me is how many people, I was talking with my friend about this the other day, how many people have been living off of success they didn't earn, but are now like that they're facing the consequences of industries not being able to support them, are kind of just going mad, and they're spiteful for their success. It's weird. Like they didn't earn this stuff, but they're like, you know, they're, but their approach to it is it's like, look, you know, I'm still here, comes to mind. Yeah. Yeah. The fact that comics are used as a political foil is mind bending. Oh yeah. Well, it's, you know, to a hammer, everything's a nail. And to people who are obsessed with politics, they are incompatible with fantasy, telling fantasy stories and uplifting stories, because I don't believe, unlike some people, that all horror is politics. You know what I mean? Or is political. I believe that all politics is horror. And that is why you don't get beautiful fantasy and you don't get uplifting stories from people who are consumed by politics. It's because all they can offer you is nihilism. And that is not where fantasy lives. It does not live in the nihilistic. It does not live in the bureaucratic. And they are bureaucrats. They are professional bureaucrats. Editorial knows deep down that they need, just like by the way, just the same thing in education. The mediocre political driven professors know that nobody would be coming to the school if it wasn't for the professors with actual skill at teaching and painting. And my God, do they resent them for it. They hate the people who are why they're able to have a job. And I will never understand that. Like, let's be real. Bob Iger's biggest contribution to Disney and to Pixar, to Lucasfilm is, and I do think that he is the person responsible for all of this, was his ability to separate and ostracize and drive out as pariahs the people who built the studios and were the brains of the outfit. There's small-minded people and untalented people have a deep resentment for really skilled, productive, talented people. He forced John Lasseter out of Pixar, and he absolutely used the politics of that time were absolutely used to force people out. They would have done the same. Shoot, you know how they drove George Lucas away from Star Wars? The press weaponized people accusing him of being racist. They found the one button they could push that would hurt him. There were many buttons, but that was the big one that hurt him. And they wounded him with it over and over and over and over and over again until he just couldn't take it. And by the way, with the complicity of a lot of fans. He didn't leave because people weren't wild about the prequels. He left because people said he was a horrible person over and over again. And if you don't think that has effect on people, Ethan is strong. Your boy Zach is strong. John Malin is strong. They were called that all of the frickin' time. Yeah, Palmdale, California. Hang on a second. God, I missed one. Hang on a second here. What the hell am I doing here, Eric the Guapo? Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. All right, I got it. Here we go. So for all of you folks waking up in Palmdale, California, first of all, good morning. It is 80 degrees right now. The high today is expected to be 108 degrees with a low of 75. Sunny conditions will continue all day. So have a good one out there. There you go, Eric the Guapo. That's for you. Yeah, that's true. Once their platforms are demolished, we win. Yeah, it's amazing. They're burning their own houses down. I think there's a saying that goes, destroying the house to save an ant. Yes, you're absolutely right. Mail-in does not give it. You're absolutely right. That is true. Truth is undeniably compelling. Their platform squelch reality. Yes, Past Master Dan. It is a high of 108 today in Palmdale. So do know that. You don't need to take a sweater out today, folks. Palmdale is going to be something. I feel like when I'm doing the weather forecast, Bill Murray's Groundhog Day Weatherman song should come on. I think that would be awesome. But yeah, I mean, what was done to George Lucas by accusing him of being a racist, and he was the first, by the way, he was the first casualty of the corporate weaponization of the woke mob, and it was 100%. The first weaponization, funny enough, fans who, like all people, would become the victims of this down the stretch were first enchanted and captivated by the idea of saying, and you had entire realities built on this, of fans saying, I could do Star Wars. If George Lucas doesn't understand Star Wars, if fans had control of Star Wars, it would be so much better. And, well, George Lucas and people like Simon Pegg, let's call his ass out, were saying things like this. And what happened? Simon Pegg was in Force Awakens, and he was, a part of and around all these things. And guess what, Simon? Those movies sucked. Your buddies screwed it up. And if I may add, Simon Pegg said recently the problem with the new movies is they're missing that George Lucas touch. Well, who the fuck do you think played a huge role in driving him out? You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. I remember when he apologized for hearing that Ahmed Best, the actor who played Jar Jar Binks, was almost driven to jump off a bridge. And he was like going, well, I kind of feel bad about that now. And I'm like, oh, you think? Don't worry, kid. You'll get yours. That's how it works. Thumbs up indeed. Yeah, right on. I will blow Palmdale's general. I will blow Palmdale's general location. Yeah. So the genesis of corporate wokeness was Disney. Yeah. I think, well, no, I don't know. That's a good call. It started in the press. It started in the media. And then it was, I think Disney was the first company to be taken over by it, because if there's one thing you should know about Disney, and I think the Clownfish folks talk about this a lot, is that Disney is absolutely obsessed with how they're portrayed in the media. So they were the company that the media was able to catch with this stuff. And if you look at it, every company that they took, like, and as Disney goes, so do other entertainment companies, because Disney was seen as, it's going to be harder and harder to imagine this. They were the height of what you wanted from entertainment. Like, you wanted to be Disney if you were Warner Brothers, if you were any other company. So everybody followed suit. And for people who don't know where this critical race theory stuff came from, it came from Harvard Law School, from a gentleman, and it's really been outlined, but on a recent Jordan Peterson podcast. But it started at Harvard. Harvard, what you got to do is you've got to seize the biggest institutions in terms of their perceived legitimacy, and then people will listen to whatever they have to say. So as goes Harvard, as go Harvard grads who are now getting jobs in positions of power, as go the press, as goes drives the entertainment company. So it's all a series of cascading things. And what we're seeing is the final stage of it, which is where these ideas meet the need to justify themselves with commerce, and they've fallen completely apart. And great stuff. Good for them. They've earned it. The creator of Star Wars doesn't understand Star Wars. These people are crazy. Yes, they are. I like to call it the fourth Reich. Yeah, exactly. From your lips to God's ears. Getting ready to work, but love the talk as always, Sean. Burn the bridges, indeed. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hail, Admiral Wackass. And good to see you, brother. David G. Hey, Sean, long-time listener, first-time caller. Just back the book. Oh, thank you so much with the art print. So sorry I'm late to the game. No, never apologize. Every new backer is important. But I thought I had backed it already. Excellent work and great live streams. Thank you so much, David G. I appreciate it. And I hope everything's good in your neck of the woods. Let's see here. Yeah, there's the link to Clownfish TV from John. Ahoy, Prince Admiral Wackass. Postmodernism spread first within the colleges. You're absolutely right. And then spread like cancer. It was when graduates in colleges obtained jobs in these industries. And let me tell you this, guys. And this is a big one. It didn't just, the colleges are not a monolith. Okay. So it didn't just start in the colleges, although I do get what you're saying. It has to start at the most prestigious college, because all colleges, they're like, gazelles, when they sense a predator. No college wants to see as being out of touch with the bigger colleges, even though they all try to act like, oh, what's so special about those prestigious colleges like Harvard and Yale? They don't want to be seen as not being in touch with what the big colleges are doing. So you have to invade, if you want to get an ideology out there, you have to invade the biggest institutions with the most prestige, because that will make all the other smaller colleges follow like lemmings. So it started in the Ivies. That's the most important thing you need to know. Get a man inside the Ivies. Get a man inside of any one of these places and start pushing this shit there. And once you have it there, these institutions were absolutely, as much as people will think that it's a product of, in a lot of ways, of the 60s and everything like that, which it is, but hear me out. My personal thinking on it is that what really led to it was the attitude of people who had been in the 60s, who their attitude was always a glib wink and a nod to Marxism. They weren't hardcore anything, because they were making sure they got their sabbaticals and they got their money and all that crap. That's what they were about. But they found what wokeness is are real hardcore radicals who come from outside that system, and they took it over like that, period. It was like literally this stuff started in the 80s. In 40 years, they took it all over. That's impressive. And we have to work hard. We have to work hard if we're going to push back against it, because colleges wouldn't exist without industries. And all the industries, like you wouldn't have bricks for a college campus if it wasn't for industry. Like that's how far back we're going. So it happens here. This is the Iron Age of comics, to quote Razorfist. This is where we're doing it. Nosfero is a part of the Iron Age. Look at the character. Nosfero, the name, translates to iron nose. I'm not kidding. That's what it actually means. That's why he's got that metal piece through his nose. So don't think I wasn't thinking there was some fortuitous being helped by hidden hands in the universe that I have a character whose name translates with the word iron in it. And Razorfist is declaring this the Iron Age. And I thought, isn't there something beautiful and poetic about that? So yeah, Nosfero and all of this stuff is a big deal. But once they got a hold of that, it was just Iron Age of comics, trademark 2022. You're absolutely right, man. And so this is the thing, is that you got to understand, like, people cannot allow themselves to get blackpilled and feel like it's impossible to change things. All institutions are really small. The people who influence what people think and what's going on are not big. They're not this, there's not millions and millions of them. There isn't. And people are fickle, and the younger generation is fickle. And it took a lot of really incompetent seeding of pop culture to extremism, and people not starting their own stuff and not saying, okay, I'm going to give you an alternative. We're going to create a parallel economy. And Eric July, if you're out there somewhere, and I know you know my brother Gabe, but if you ever see this, let me tell you something, man. What you've been saying about the parallel economy, I've been listening to. In addition to all the stuff I've been listening to from Ethan and John, I believe very strongly in the importance of a parallel economy. And I think there's a lot of businesses and there's a lot of people out there, by the way, who are moderates, who are not extreme political Looney Tunes, who are ready to back and support us in the fight against counterproductive, destructive ideology. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to have an ideology of life and creativity, and not of death and control. And that is what Nosfero is about. And that's why I'm so honored to be doing this piece for John Malin. And that's the thing. I don't say that in, some star in your eyes sort of way. When you see somebody who fights and who stands up, game recognizes game. I'm a fighter myself, and it's great to stand shoulder to shoulder with a fellow fighter. That's it. And the sirens go. That ain't good. No, I'm kidding. Oh, my Lord. That's what we do here. That's what we do here at the Waffle Lodge. That's what Shantan Jedi art is founded on, is free expression and all of the shit that I was told in academia that people believed in. Stuff I was told the ACLU believed in, all of these organizations that have been completely consumed because of perceived legitimacy. It's the way it is. We ain't having it. John, not a conspiracy theorist, just a lot of research. Don't fund those who openly hate you. Yeah, absolutely. Economics are created, not bestowed. You're absolutely right. So let's speak to that. This quote that always goes on in my mind, I don't remember where I heard it or if it was something that I said to myself. If someone knows where it comes from, do let me know. But do not concern yourself with the opinions of people who despise you. It's the simplest rule of thumb, and it'll make you happy, man. Even speaking Martin's name alerts the sirens. That's right. That's hilarious. But yeah, it's Malin's name. Yes, exactly. That's right. Well, I just heard wolves howling and saw wolves run past my window. It is what it is. Yeah, it was a business major. There you go. There you go. Well, I certainly was not a business major because, I do comics. Although I will tell you, I did take a business class. I did take economics classes in the summer in Tennessee because I just wanted to understand basic principles like the law of diminishing return and it's everybody could stand to have a little aware. I mean, not everybody needs to have an understanding of business as best as they can. Now, when you're so focused on something as complicated and such a specific thing, specialization as creating comics, you can only hold so much in your mind, and there's only so much you can do. But you should have a practical understanding of finances. It's always good, and listen to people who are smarter. Listen to people who know more. That's what's great about diversifying who you've got around you. You are an asset. Assets have value. Value can be manipulated. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So they started Christian and then turned dark. Was a business major. I have no idea what any of that stuff is, but fascinating. Oh my gosh. But to get it back onto the art thing, right? To get it back on the art thing and away in some ways from the horror of politics and the majesty of civics and the majesty of civil liberties and all of that great stuff. The ability to do something like this. It's one thing to do a painting like this, okay? For Nosfero, for my own book. It is an entirely different thing to be in an environment where you've got someone like John saying, I want to hire you to do a 2-page spread of your characters, and the rules are do something amazing. That's the amazing thing for me about this stuff. That's the amazing thing for me. And when I think about this kind of stuff, and when I think about what makes art what it is, and what makes what we do so difficult to connect, and to understand by like how it's done, it's something that we don't have a lot of words for. Like, take a look right now at this, guys. Take a look at that column right there. Okay, that column is fairly solid value-wise in terms of lights and darks, but it's not working color-wise yet. And in order to have it work color-wise, I'm not going to mix up a color and just throw down a color on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a color and I'm going to do a wash on it, but I'm going to try to let those colors happen. So I'm going to try to bring it forward a little bit with some richness of color. So I'm going to take a little bit of orange, and it's like a glaze. And we're just going to have that warmth kind of taper into it. And then look what happens. Look how it starts to come forward a little bit more with everything. Now, I'm not going to get rid of that blue that's down there because I like it. That's where the contrast is going to happen. But I'm just going to go in and mix in a little orange. Now, look at how that shifted everything. Look at how that moved everything forward, and that's what it is. Oh my God, guys. This is a boring chat when you're talking about all this complicated stuff. I can't follow all this. We got to focus back on art. I mean, this is like turning my head inside out. And then, good Lord. Oh my God, you guys are nuts. But this is the thing, right? When I'm going and I'm working on a lot of this stuff and I'm thinking about like, how do I capture people? How do I get people to be, to say, like, to turn their head and look towards what we're doing here in Comicsgate, or as Eric July has done, got them to take a look at what he's doing with the Rippaverse. But the principles are the same. We need to get eyeballs on stuff. And step one is create quality. We've got that happening in spades. Step two is to stay focused on what we're here to do, which is to show people where the skills are. Because there's a lot of people. I'm high and going deep. Would have guessed orange would have brought that. Yeah. See, this is the thing. It's the way those two colors cancel each other out. It's the game of opposites. You've got blue in there and you've got a blue-green, so you throw a little orange in there and it suddenly starts to move that forward in space because it creates that color contrast, right? And so it's kind of a funny thing because, I always ask myself about the work that I'm doing. I say over and over again to myself when I wake up in the morning, what business am I in? What business am I in? I'm in the comic book business. I'm in the business of, putting this stuff out there and putting work out there. And the trick for me in doing all of this stuff is making sure that I'm doing, how do I create comic books that will attract an audience outside of what we already have? Do you know what I mean? Like, we have great people. I want to get the audience we have. Shoot, if I could capture, the eyeballs and the enthusiasm of, a small percentage of the people who are following some of my, fellow artists and bigger creators, that would be great. But what I would really love to do is, even if it's one person, I remember when Scottsley said that that Nosfero was the first Comicsgate book that he backed. That I'm so proud of that, because I like to think it's the start of something exciting, of people, collecting comics. And I want to help to do that. Like, I'm sincere in that, To me, the yellow green looks like toxic gas. Well, you ain't kidding. It is. That's part of it. I mean, this is not a great world. The hours you put into this. Yeah, well, but this is the thing, right, guys? Yeah, buddy. There you go, Scottsley. You know what I'm talking about. And I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for that. I will always remember that. But it's the same thing. Like, I've got this bat right here that is in the top of the panel. And I agonized a little bit over, like, okay, well, how much detail should I put into this bat? And then I kind of realized that because there's other bats that are further back in the background. You can see them here and here. And the thing I kind of came down to on it is that there was room for a little bit of detail. And because these wings are transparent and they've got, and such is the nature of bats, I wanted to mess around with, and it gets a little dicey when you do stuff like this, but I wanted to mess around with getting some warms and some purples under the wing, even if I go over them a little bit, with darker tones. I wanted to make sure that I got, let me see if I can put this where you guys can see it. I wanted to make sure that I washed in a little bit of purple right in there to give it that translucency. Do you see what I mean? To give it that sense of believability, because someone who is getting this book, and all of this is going to be a lot smaller in the book itself, but for the people who are backing and who have backed Godlike, and John, who has backed me on this painting and backed Nosfero. Thank you, John, for backing Nosfero. I do appreciate it. The thing for me about it is I want to give them as much bang for their buck as I possibly can. Like, if I can't, if I'm not adding something to the book with my presence, then it was a waste of money. And I'm not really interested in this being a waste of money for John, and I'm not interested in it. Certainly, I mean, you talked about how much time I put into it. I'm not interested in it being a waste of time for me. I've only got so many paintings in me before I'm done. And it took a lot of years to get to this point. So everything I do has to be approached with that sensibility. I mean, boxers understand this probably better than most, right? They know they've only got a certain amount of fights in them in their peak, and they have to make smart decisions. And they have to, make sure that they're taking care of themselves, or else that stuff is over in a heartbeat. There we go. Oh yeah, that was the answer right there. Getting a little bit more purple in there. It's just giving it a little bit more of the energy that I think it's going to need to have in order for it to be, as dynamic. There we go. Make sure I get that right there. Get the camera set up. Let me see who's in the chat. Coolio. Good to see you. Broken Compass Comics. Great to see you. Hail to you, my friend. I wasn't paying attention to the chat for a while, and I heard my name. Listen, no worries, man. You guys, sit back, relax, enjoy the stream, and enjoy the weather wherever you are, whatever is going on with it. And but yeah, I mean, that's really what it's about. Hey, what's up, Rock Crin? Great to see you, my friend. I can see you painting into senility. You're absolutely, well, I mean, I'm already there, so I will continue painting in senility. But it's like, think about, like, guys, this is, I know you guys can see it slightly off frame. This is what I'm dealing with right here. This is my Photoshop. These smears of paint that you see over there of me mixing colors on that palette, those are what I'm making this out of. It is, to me, it's such an incredible tradition that we pass down, this whole art thing, and certainly traditional media as well. And that's the magic of what we're doing here. I've got to give you guys something magical that goes beyond the smears of those paints. Like, I've got to make sure I'm bringing my A game to it. Sean, is there any pang of sensitivity when you paint a bat over the stone you recently learned? Yes, there is. But then I remember, and that was going to sound hokey, but it's me. So you get what you pay for. You know why you're here. Then I remember who I'm doing the artwork for. I'm doing the artwork for you guys, and hail Rock Crin. I'm doing the artwork for you guys. So it's about whatever it takes to give you guys the most dramatic, experience that you can get from this painting, and it's and I listen, I could paint that stone texture on a canvas all day and I would enjoy it because I'm nuts. I mean, what are you going to do, guys? But for this piece right here, the biggest thing is the sense of the world. And I want you guys to hear, because I love horror movies. I've been watching a lot of Hammer horror movies lately. I want you to hear the bat wings flapping, when you look at this painting. Let me move that up just a hair. There we go. That's a little better, actually, if I move that camera. Then you guys can see the tape and some of the stuff I'm working on. But I want you guys to hear those wings flapping. Do you know what I mean? I want you guys to get sucked into Halloween, which we are now 2 months from Halloween. I'm very excited about it. I just got some stuff in the mail from Spirit Halloween. I got this. They're selling a plastic Haunted Mansion tombstone that says, "Here lies dear old Fred. A great big rock fell on his head." And I got one of the marble busts that they have that are concave, I think it is, so that they look like they're following you. They made a 3D one of it. I've got that on my mantle. I am ready for Halloween, guys. I'm ready for Halloween, and I'm ready because I love this stuff so much, man. Love this stuff. I love, one of my favorite parts of the sketch on this, I don't know if you guys can see it, was this cat down here. His just these two little white dots of his eyes kind of looking out at you, kind of slightly breaking the fourth wall. I was really excited to do that because I compositionally like for people to be brought into the piece and have their eyes sort of led through the piece. And that's a part of it, like which direction people face. Thinking about like where the page break is going to be in a double page spread, like we're in the couple of places it can be, come to think of it. I mean, there's a range you have to have, but also having it work as a complete piece on its own. And then working as two separate pieces. And that's why we've got so much weight on that section. That's why there's got to be so much care put into the doors and the stone, because I want people to get that sense this is creating an immaculate reality. It didn't get you anything. It happens. Listen, guys, it happens. Oh my gosh, you guys crack me up. Let me see here. Hail. Eyelid, ouch. Oh, geez, yeah. Learned how to paint. Gotcha. Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, don't worry. I'm not, you're not going to get lead in your eye. Although, I almost got pencil lead in my eye. God knows it's a miracle. I'm still have vision in both eyes. I also caught a lawn dart to the face when I was a kid. And it nicked me. I mean, it came so close. It was nuts. Part of why those things got banned. Not really, but I mean, I was a horror story about them. There's a layer of creepiness without the shadows cast by the figures. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and all of this stuff, right, is the one thing we get to do in comics and in painting, and you can do an animation film too, is we can cheat certain things to maximize the drama. We can cheat certain things to maximize the the effect of how it reads. And I think that's why I love that there aren't reins on the polar bears in that Frazetta painting, because they weren't necessary to get the point across. You felt like they were there. You noticed them. And he was trying to, not weigh the painting down with just too much minutia. And Frazetta was a genius at that, at not overburdening the paintings with okay, like everything's got to be exactly thought of from a logistical way. And you see that, Todd did that too. McFarlane was great at that. He's like, I'm here to get in your face and bring you into this comic book. And that cape is going to change sizes. It's going to be, as big as it needs to be to maximize the effect. Look at how that stone starts to become so much more dimensional right there as you add those little highlights in. I mean, that is so much fun to do for me, doing little things like that, putting those highlights in and bringing it out, I see the delta that directs the eye to the focal point. That sounds way too smart for me at this hour. Are you sure you're high? Because that sounds very lucid to me. But some people are like that. Some people are lucid in that sense. So yes, here's my hope for this painting. First of all of you guys who get this Visions book, I hope that this is a positive part of the Visions book. That's number one. The other aspect of it is I hope John Malin likes it, man. I hope he's happy when he gets it. And I hope that when John was thinking about commissioning me to do a piece for the Visions book, I don't know if this is the case with him, but this would always be the case with me. I don't know if he pictured sort of what a painting from me could be. I hope this is as good or exceeds what he was picturing in his head. That's the hope I have. So when I work, I want it to be, I want people to be happy with it. It's the same thing with the Beckoned cover that I'm doing. When people commission me to do work, you can't always, get in everybody's head and give them exactly what they want, because otherwise we're back in art directing, and that's not what we're trying to do here. But you do want it to be something that they're excited by, and something that, brings something new to the project. All righty. We're getting there. Guys. You see how that starts to pop it forward? There's later creepiness, the shadows cast. I see the delta that directs. Yeah, good musicians don't crowd the music with as many notes as possible. You're right. Over singing has become passe and boring. Just sing the damn song. Amen. Hey, what's up, Mrs. Good Stuff? It's great to see you. As you know, I must doff my cap to you, my lady. Busy day today, but wanted to swing by and wish you well. Well, I'm wishing you well. So thank you for that. I mean, I know, guys, listen, I never take for granted any of those things. I love when people swing by and drop a like and say, hey, man, I hope you're doing well. That is something I always sincerely appreciate. So thank you for that, Mrs. Good Stuff. I do appreciate it. Very much so. Yeah, it's always a special day for me when I'm wrapping up a painting. I don't know when I get to the point where Nosfero is, ready to go to the printer, as with all of my art books, but I think this one's going to be way more. It's going to be way more of a big deal for me because of what it means and how many big choices and how many years of work are represented in this project, and how much passion and love for this project is there. But I will tell you guys, it's going to be big. I'm going to be quite emotional about that, I can imagine. Now, I don't do emotions well, so I'm not saying you're going to see it because I'm not great at it. I don't like the way my feelings make me feel, but I know it's going to be overwhelming. I still remember getting together with Mrs. and Jetty and the kids and us putting our heads together before we launched. I remember the first day on Michael's stream, and I remember at the other side of that weekend going on Pete Zametti's and getting the book funded. And then just the march forward to make it the best project we can make it. And I'm very, very grateful to all of you guys for your support. I hope you all know that. Let's see what we've got here. Good morning, Courtney. It's great to see you. I hope you're doing well. Let's see here. This is good stuff. Is that your x-ray? What was the reason? My youngest daughter is going through something at the same point. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, it looks like an x-ray. Oh, my goodness. I hope you're okay. There is Good Stuff Comics Gators YouTube channel. Hey, at Courtney, Shamp is not the emote goat. No, I'm not. Sorry, guys. I am not the emote goat. That is not my particular set of skills, sadly. To paraphrase Taken. Here we go. I do laugh. That much I can tell you. When I'm with the boys, when I'm with Camel Moon or Michael Bancroft or Rob Arnold or Eric Weathers, those guys, man, I can get cracked up. And oh my Lord, tonight on Double Impact, we're talking about Roadhouse. Jericho Green and Gabe, we're gonna have fun. I created a fun piece of artwork or fun photoshopping for Jericho Green in the intro, and sent it to him Friday night. Was up late working on it. Been working on just so much right now. And Jericho gave me a call Saturday morning, cracking up that he got it. And it was a fun way to start the Saturday, man. Good dude, and big action fan. Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Hey, what's up, Comics Talk with Pops Van Sant? It is great to see you, boss. How you doing? Love seeing you in the chat. Is Sam Elliott going to be in the sequel? Oh, my God, yeah. Sam Elliott. There you go, man. Taught him everything he knew, right? Playing with the boys. Indeed. Yeah, we got some great people here in the chat. Thank you guys for being here and coming in and hitting that like button. It's bizarre. Oh, I should tell you guys this. So when you get monetized, one of the funny things about it is that they have to confirm your location, and they have to send you a PIN number or something like that to enter into your address. It's a really weird process, utterly weird process. And, they said they had sent it. Weeks went by, never got it. So we had to have them resend it. And finally got that the other day. So that was really exciting to finally have all of the things I need to do to actually have some of the money you guys have been sending to me come through, which is craziness, Much love for Pops. And what's up? Scottsy saying hi, Pops. Yeah. I mean, talk about, the amount of plates that we're spinning as creators. I mean, the Image Comics guys are dealing with Diamond and they had their careers, but in Comicsgate, man, it's like we're definitely spinning some plates, to put it mildly, because in my case, outside of it, 30K, I get to have Eric Weathers' brilliant lettering on the book. Everything else, talking to the printer, everything else is going to be me. It's a crew of one. And with you guys' support, that's the thing that that's where you guys come in, man. You give me the support to make it possible. Let's see here. Yeah, the new Roadhouse is supposed to be Swayze's kid, and Elliot won't train him. Yeah, there you go. That'd be terrifying. Sadly, Sam Elliott didn't make it because of how his dad died. Well, yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Sam Elliott's dead, so that would be some feat. Not Sam Elliott, the actor, but his character in Roadhouse. Sam Elliott's still with us, thank God. Love Sam Elliott, man. So good in Tombstone, so good in all of the Westerns that he's been in. What a lad. What a lad. He was great in that. The late Bill Paxton, rest in peace, Bill. Every time I watch Tombstone, it's just, there's always, in any movie Bill Paxton's in, there's a little pang of, what a stupid medical mess up. Took Bill from us. So annoying. It does happen. Those things happen, but it's just like, oh God, his poor family. Oh, some trucks out there honking. So rest in peace, Bill Paxton. Much love. Thank you for all of the great cinema and one-liners. And, you definitely earned your time on the planet with all of your great contributions. Love Bill Paxton. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Yeah, don't ruin it. Sorry, I didn't mean to spoil it for you. Yeah, guys, I could talk about Roadhouse all day. My first comic I did when I was 14. Do not, if you guys are in the Double Impact audience tonight, which I'm assuming, of course, you will be, do me a solid and remind me to show the comic I did when I was 14, because there are no less than at least two references to Roadhouse in it. I loved that movie. A friend of mine, actually my violin teacher, told me recently, he goes, have you ever seen the movie Roadhouse? And I was like, are you kidding? Yeah, yeah. Roadhouse is, yeah, it's one of my movies. And he goes, yeah, man. He's quoting it. And I said, yeah, and he then let me know he had just seen it for the first time at 30. I'm like, dude, I saw that movie when I was like 13 or 14 or whatever, however old I was when it came out. And man, like that movie was, seeing a movie like that when you're that age is, it's life-changing, man. It's great stuff. Love that movie. I mean, there's so much about being a guy I learned from that flick. That I could put into practice was quite useful. It's a great movie to see when you're young. It's definitely not going to lead you down a soy path. That is for certain. It's going to lead you down a good path. I mean, where would we be without quotes like "Pain don't hurt"? I freaking love that quote. But then you're looking at a guy who, when his appendix ruptured, he put a seatbelt over his abdomen area and drove himself to the hospital so he wouldn't wake up his kids, his newborn. So there he is. Don't ruin it for me. The older brother in Weird Science said, yes, absolutely. Well, if we lose Sam Elliott, we've always got Edwin Boyette. God, John, that one caught me. You got me there, man. Let's see what else we've got here. There we go. Back on the artwork. Schemes and scams. Amen. Past Master Dan. Laugh out loud. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, man, he was great in everything, man. He was even in the sequel to Spy Kids with Rodriguez, because he's in the Austin area. I think his kids and Robert Rodriguez's kids were in the same play group, he said, or something like that. So there's something for you. We'll have to ponder that. Let me see here. There we go. And let me see. I'm going to drop the eyeballs in here. Man, I'll tell you what. Definitely start feeling it when you're squinting at these things all day. Remember this too. I mean, I know you guys know this who are artists or, think about making your own comic books. But the thing about making comics and art is the marathon aspect of it. And it's really not about how long it takes for you to just do one painting or any of those kinds of things. It's about, carrying these books through, and it's about just the discipline of going to the desk every single day and putting in hours and hours and hours and hours. And it's critical, man. It's critical to get that stuff there. Yeah. God protect the children. Indeed. Absolutely right. Yeah. There's Gabe's YouTube channel, guys, for those of you guys who want to see Jericho, myself, and of course the main man, Gabe, talking about that today. It's gonna be fun. We went for 3 hours last week, and we laughed the entire time. I swear, if Jericho Green does his booyah bass thing again tonight, I'm gonna die. That was freaking hilarious. That guy cracks me up, man. I've always enjoyed his show, and he's always made me laugh and just brought so much positivity and energy to what he does. But finding out that he's a kindred spirit action-wise and having conversations with him back and forth about Steven Seagal is great. On last week's stream, I actually started a sketch of painting during the stream because I thought it would be fun to do, of Erica Eleniak in that movie. For those of you guys, booyah base. Yeah, booyah base. So I actually did some more work on it. Let me know in the chat. Drop a one in the chat if you guys want to see where the Erica Eleniak painting went from Under Siege. I don't know if you guys remember Erica Eleniak from Under Siege, but if you saw the movie, I'm guessing you do. But if you want to see that, I can always grab it and show it to you. But yeah, that was fun to do. I mean, we're just having a great time, guys. You guys know this. For all of you guys who've been around, since the early days of the Fandom Menace and Comicsgate, wherever your entry point was on this stuff, we've been having fun from the start. We've been dealing with our share of blowback, of BS, and of nonsense. but we're having a great time. And that's really what it's about. You know, I mean, God, it's it's having fun and working our asses off. And I know you guys are working hard. I know these comics don't buy themselves. And I appreciate that. I appreciate your support because we need it. A backer is different than a customer. A backer is what allows you to make the dang book. You know what I mean? And a customer is great. Customers are great, but backers are a cut above because they're your investors. You know, they give you that money and they say, all right, go forth and, you know, fire and forget. Here's this cash. And I trust that, you know, you're saying that I will get a perk. I'm not guaranteed this or that. And they just, you know, they trust you that you're going to do it. And 2 books in of me delivering on that stuff, it's great. But for all you first-time backers, of which there's a lot more of you on this project than on my first 2 art books. Thank you, Comicsgate. You know, I appreciate it, man. You guys are going to get a dynamite book. And if you see the time I put into this kind of stuff, Nosfero's that times 1,000. That's the best way I can put it. You know, let's see it. Okay, great. Let's see it. All right, guys. Ready? All right, let me see if I can get you some Erica Liniak here. Here you go, kids. This is an acrylic painting. So I don't put this down on any wet paint here. This right here is an acrylic painting of Erica Liniak that I started on that stream. Let's see if I can get a better angle on the light there so it doesn't do that ripple effect. But this is a painting of Erica Liniak from Under Siege that I did. There you go. That's a little bit of a better angle that I did the other night on the show. So there you go. That's what it is. Oh, thank you, Scottsley. I appreciate it. Much love, my friend. Much love indeed. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Comicsgate works. You ain't kidding. And thank you. I appreciate that, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see here. So, yeah, so it's all a part of this process and making this work. All a part of it. Let me see here. All right. Get a little bit more paint here on the brush. And go. Let's see here. Let's put some dark in here. Oh, thank you, John. I appreciate that, man. She is a tough likeness, John. I'm telling you right now, she is a very tough likeness. She's got one of those really kind of like non-overly featured faces, and she's got a very symmetrical face, and that is always tough to do. Always tough to do. I was very reticent about trying to get her to work. You know, there's Fourth Age YouTube channel, by the way, check it out. To say that I was apprehensive about trying to paint her is putting it mildly, because she's got one of those very symmetrical faces, and then it was looking up, and that's a problem too, because you got some wild perspective stuff going on it. And that perspective stuff is tricky. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit of blue in here. Let's get some white. I need a little bit lighter value right there. But Erica Liniak is tough to paint. And she's beautiful too. You know, it's like pinning an angel to a canvas. It ain't easy. There we go. I mean, it's funny because my wife also knows how to paint. And so I kept showing it to her, and she'd go, it looks good. It looks good. I'm like, yeah, but there's something off about it, you know. But, you know, she's a good resource when I'm painting, because she understands, you know, the difficulties of painting, you know, painting a face in perspective and trying to get a very painterly look to it. But I also used, because in the movie she had these sort of silverish gloves on, these metallic gloves, and a lot of gold on her outfit, that I was able to use gold paint on that stuff, and you know, really get it to you know, to have a little bit of a shimmer to it, make it a fun painting, which is always, you know, it's always fun to do. There we go. Now let's see if we can go in here and put a little bit more paint right in there. There we go. Bring that over. Bring that over. There we go. I wonder what the hell that sound was. I just heard something fall over, and I was like, alrighty. Hopefully the bunny's not in too much trouble, or someone's in the backyard dropping something off, for all you know. You really never know. Always something exciting happening at the Waffle Lodge. Thank you guys for being here. Please do hit the like. Please subscribe. And if you want me to read the weather in your neck of the woods, do let me know where you're located, and I will call it up and give you a weather forecast, because that was absolutely hilarious to do. Although I do feel like I might be stepping on Eric Weather's toes a little bit, you know, talking weather. I feel like that could be his shtick right there, man. And I'm stealing it from him. There we go. There we go. Drop a little highlight right there. Do you see how the bat is starting to come out of that now? It's so funny because these things are quite small, but they register to, like, you grab a couple of areas and you select out and give a little bit of detail, and it really just connects, man. You know, it connects the readers. And, you know, this side of the page, the monster, the columns, or the column and the doors, that's the main emphasis of it. So you really want to make sure that, you know, that side of the page has that area of interest, which is why we've got that creature, you know, there. Let's see here. Yeah, 2 weathermen in CG now. Eric, watch out. Yeah, that's right. She seems to pick like the hardest angle to draw. Rini, yeah, I just read that above. Speaking of wild angles, did you see Rini's drawing for PTP's Last of the Seekers campaign? I didn't, but listen, the biggest issue that we run into when we're drawing this stuff is we sometimes will get a great idea for a piece, and then we go, oh, dang, I got to paint that. And what a good artist will do is a good artist will say, that's just got to happen. I'm just going to have to paint that. That's how that goes. And, you know, hashtag no cowards, you know, that's what it's about. Hashtag no cowards. That's not what we do. It's not the business we're in. But you can see how that bat is kind of coming together. And I've always got in front of me, for maybe just for raw intimidation, it's like working with a tiger in the room with you. But I've always got a Frazetta book open in front of me, because this may sound like a kind of a bizarre sort of thing, but when I look at other artists' work, I'm always looking to see, like, what is their detail amount that they're putting into it, and like how they move, the quantity of stuff they render, where they put it. And that's one of the best things you can learn from other artists. And there is this sweet spot of detail versus not enough detail that different artists have. And I really do like Frazetta's range of where he puts detail, where he doesn't, but you got to make sure you have enough in there. And so I'm always looking for what's that ratio between too much and too little. And Tom, this may sound nuts because people don't think of my stuff as being influenced by it as much, unless you see my earlier stuff. But I look at Todd's stuff for that too. Look at Dave Stevens' work for it, because there is a sweet spot when it comes to the detail. You know, there's a sweet spot. You don't want to overwork it, and but you don't want to underwork it either. And I think about that a lot. You know, keeping it that sweet amount of painterly, but then making it feel believable. So letting areas where, like right in there, where the paint's going to break, you know, and leave a nice little open area. I want to make sure I keep that like that. I don't want to go in and render out that side of the wing too much, because it's going to, you know, break the context of, it's going to break the context of the detailed areas if everything is detailed. So I'm going to go in and kind of drop in a little bit of darker value there. That I want to leave lighter on that side to help define that edge of the face. Going to have some dark right in there. And then that being silhouetted is more than enough to define the form. Do you guys see what I mean? It's way more than enough to define that. So let's go up really close, a distance that you will not be seeing this at when you see the finished piece, and you can see what I'm talking about. Just enough detail. And as Mary Poppins said, enough is as good as a feast, kids. Never forget it. Never forget, enough is as good as a feast. Let me see here. All right. Here, so we're going to just go and put a little bit more of that fur right up there. And then I want to see about getting some more special effects in here, which is to say more of the mist. That's the big part of it, because right now you got all this liquid, you've got this bubble, toil, and trouble. But there's another part of it that I want to kind of get, which is happening right in here with all of this mist texture. I want to make sure I get a little bit of that in there, and then a little bit more of those, like, again, as someone said, the Frazetta marble. And you better believe that I am referencing as if I could get it out of my head, but I'm referencing the Frazetta marble pillar stuff that he got from the kind of classic illustrators that he was influenced from, that I'm getting from him. Like, I love that stuff. And so I'm all about making those references in my work. So right there on that bat right there, I lost the silhouette a little bit. And so I want to make sure I'm going in and just kind of putting light value around it, just to keep that silhouette in there enough. And that color will shift, and it won't be as contrasty once we get to the other side of it. But you can just see how that gives it just enough of an edge so that your eye is jumping between these different things, getting a better sense of the perspective. And that's kind of one of the key things about, what I'm doing, is just trying to, what's so funny is, and I can't imagine this being the type of thing he ever does on a stream, but at some point, I think it would be a real blast to do a private sort of stream and just shoot the shit with John Malin while he works. Because he's one of those people who I'm really fascinated about. I've seen Ethan's process a lot. I've seen John do head sketches and things like that in the early days of Comicsgate, in those art contests and things like that. But I imagine he's kind of in the zone, so I wouldn't exactly need to talk. But I would love to just watch him work and just sit there quietly and just work together. That'd be fun. Be a fun thing to do. But I love drawing with people because it's there's that sort of that unspoken language of what we do when we make our work. And you never know, like, I don't know if artists themselves can ever know what other artists get out of watching them work, but it's really about I don't know. It's that unspoken language we have as people who do this stuff. It's weird, It's like we're tradespeople. Speaking of wild angles, did you see Reenie's draw? Yes, it did. She seemed like the hardest angle to draw. Weatherman 2, absolutely. Patrick Thomas Parnell's the last of the Seekers. Yes, guys, go check that campaign out. It was being shadow banned. I'm not a big fan of that. And I just am not. Absolutely not a fan of that. So let me see here. Okay, so I've got that bat that's further back, so not really a concern right there. And I'm going to grab a little bit more of this color that I've mixed up here, just to kind of add a little bit of character to this part of the wall, at least the wall texture. And so that's, again, it's another yellow oxide mixed in with manganese, I can never pronounce it right, blue. And it just gives you that kind of blue-green that's happening here. A lot of the colors you see are just, glazes and layers. Now that I've got this new approach to doing this stuff, I mean, good Lord, I can't imagine having this thing framed in my house. But that's what you want for your originals. Let me see here. IGG seems to be getting high on their own supply as of late. Yeah, it's going to happen. Steve Jobs did a great little lecture video where he talked about why big corporations or why monopolistic companies fail. And he talked about when you get to a certain size where you reach your maximum audience level, the only way you can think about moving the needle is not making a better product or not refining the product, but by marketing the product. And so you then get this flood in of bureaucrats who aren't responsible for the actual making of the success. And that's what they're going through. They're going through the growing pains of their own success. The funny thing about it is the people that they are shadow banning right now and penalizing are the people who got them to that party. Comicsgate was a huge part of the notoriety of Indiegogo. They should know that. When I launched my art books for principled reasons, largely because of this man right here and what his experience was, the guy who I'm doing this piece for. Know that I walk the walk from the very beginning, even when it couldn't benefit me. I was not, making a comic book. I was making an art book. I did it on Indiegogo. And the size of the audience I was able to get by launching that thing on Indiegogo was probably much smaller than it was on Kickstarter. So I know of what I speak. It was not a big platform, but if it's got any notoriety now, it owes it in large part to what Comicsgate has done for it. And I hope people understand that. We're not launching $1 million campaigns, but we are a big part of getting that brand out there. And that's a big part of attracting those campaigns. There are people who have crowdfunded on Kickstarter their entire careers, like Billy Tucci, who, because of Comicsgate and because of his friendships with people over decades in CG, he came over and started doing and funding projects on Indiegogo. I think that's how it went. Billy would have to correct me on that if I'm off there, but I believe that's the case. And so Indiegogo benefited from that. It benefited from those massive She campaigns, and the same thing goes with how many campaigns of Ethan's, and Ethan being an advocate for it. So I really hope they get their shit together, to put it as simply as I can. But, there'll always be another platform that comes along. Indiegogo was that other platform when it started out. So if they want to remain the home for this kind of stuff, this kind of independent and high-quality work, hopefully they'll get that shit sorted. There we go. Now that bat's starting to come together. That's how we do it. What's up, Teflon Ron? It's good to see you. Yeah, Indiegogo should be thanking CG. I never heard of Indiegogo before CG. You're absolutely right. Hail to the wrenches. Hail Shamp. Hail past Master Dan Rockcrin. And at It's Courtney. You're absolutely right, my friend. Hail to you, Teflon Ron. It's great to see you. Yeah, I believe in that very strongly. Dance with the one who brought you. That's what that is. End of. Or as they say in Britain, simple as. That's one of my favorite Britishisms. Simple as. A lot of fighters use it. And I like British fighting. British boxers are great. If we got any British people in the crowd here, you guys have the best boxing fans in the world. I think maybe Mexico comes close, but you guys are pretty amazing with the fights that you put on. And hail to Chris Eubanks Sr. What a personality and a fun fighter to watch. There we go. There we go. Yes. Let's see who we've got here in the chat. What's up, Dale A? Good to see you. I wonder if Zoop will ever be an option. I think there's going to be a lot of options as long as we keep working on this stuff. If Indiegogo, hold on a second. If Indiegogo is sour due to Eric July's at Aerith, and at Aerith, I would think they would want to be sweet instead of bitter. Yeah, well, of course, that's true. But I don't think that's what it is. I really don't think it's that. Simple as. Yeah, you're right. I really don't think it's that complicated. Oh yeah, this is your deadline today, Sean? Yep, absolutely. I always, love to work on things that last day, and I wanted to be here working on it at least for as long as I can on stream, because I think I mentioned this earlier on the stream. It's my birthday on Wednesday. I don't know. And you get to a certain age, you can't keep track of this stuff. My birthday is September 2nd, and so I'll be 46, and that is, I think, on Friday. And I just was thinking today what an awesome thing it is, how many Comicsgate milestones have happened at these particular times. And the thing I'm very thankful for and have been very introspective about this week is on my 45th birthday. Oh, thank you, John. Friday. There you go. On my 45th birthday, I was 1 month out, and I had started advertising and talking about, but I was 1 month out of launching Nosfero. And if you had told me 365 days later, I'd be working on a double-page spread for John Malin's Visions book. For those of you guys, oh God, do I have it here where I can get to it? I don't know if I have it here. Shiver me timbers. Hang on a second, guys. Hang on a second. Where is it? 1 second. I'm going to stop the cam. You guys can hear me, but I just want to grab something real quick. Holy crap, I've been sitting down for a long time. My legs are like jelly. But that's how they are normally anyway. Let's see here. Gosh, I'm going to my short box of all my Comicsgate stuff here. There's First Man. There's Andy Smith stuff. There's Star Blades. Downcast. Here it is. Here it is. Sweet. People of the chat. People who want to see this stuff. I still remember asking you if you had any commissions, how times have changed. John, I remember those conversations. So here, let's start the cam. Let me tell you how this stuff works. Or let me tell you how this worked for me. You guys remember this book right here? God, speaking of another fellow devotee of the Fanny. You guys remember this book right here? The Visions book? I remember back in this book, and John said that they would take submissions from artists doing his characters, because that's what Visions book 1 was Lilith. And he goes, and if you do a really good piece, you'll get paid, and we'll do a spread. Thank you, Teflon Ron. I appreciate that. You'll get a full paid spread, and if your piece is good enough, we'll put it in the book, or we'll try to put as many as we can, right? So here's the book. Here's all the artwork in the book. These are folks that got paid for a page in this book, right? And great stuff, really cool artwork. And I had just left my job, and I had just done this, and I said, you know what? I'm going to try to put together a painting for this book and send it in. And I sent it in, and I sent it to Mark, and Mark got it. And then when I got my glasses, I said, can I update my image? Is it too late? and so, yeah, so this right here, this is my piece in the very back in the fan section, art by Jonathan Jedi. It is my first published piece in a Comicsgate book. This is my piece that's in Visions. So I was in the back of the book, right by the gutter, 1/4 of a page on this artwork. And that's my first. It's about as big as, a little bit bigger than a trading card. So this is my first piece in any Comicsgate book, was in the fan section of John Malin's Visions book, right? That was, John would know when that deadline was, but I think I got in around July or something like that, was right when I heard back from them about that, like, yeah, that's going to be in the book, right? And what's up? Good to see you, Real Sean Crummel. It's great to see you. Vero, great to see you too as well, man. Leg Kick 1 is always there holding it down. Cranberry Langers, same thing. It's good to see all you guys. So think about this. That was just over a year ago. So from sending a piece in and getting it in the book for free, which was an honor, let me be clear, but getting it in the fan section, like sending it in and just being published in a Comicsgate book. John had no idea who the hell I was. Mark had no idea, but they were giving opportunities to artists. To go from that to being commissioned to have my own character as a double-page spread in the Visions book for Godlike, that's how it works. And I can tell you this, when I was in that book, I was so proud. I was like so excited to see that piece in there. People were sending to me going, hey man, it's here. I found it, what page it's on. Showed it to my wife, had a huge smile on my face. And I'm always working hard. I'm always appreciative. And I'm always moving forward. And I was just excited to get a piece. I wasn't even thinking, oh, well, maybe this will get money and I'll get paid for this. I was thinking, I remember thinking this really clearly. I go, I hope I got it in on time, because I got it in, because I just decided to do it because I just needed to do it as a declaration of independence. Just left that job. I thought, this is going to sound sappy, but again, guys, while I might not be a very emotive guy, I can definitely be sappy. I thought, this is a sign this is the right decision. I got the piece in, it's been accepted, and it's going to be somewhere in this book. It was my first published Comicsgate piece. So that was, right around the time of my 45th birthday. To be here at 46 and to be or right about to be 46 or complete 46 years. See, to be doing a double page spread for a Visions book, are you kidding me? It's insane. And that's how it works. Work your tail off. I still have that piece, guys. If you guys want to see what that piece looks like at 100% scale, here's the piece right here. This is that piece. And it's from 2021. This piece is going to be signed from 2022, 1 year. And so here is that Lily piece I did for John Malin way back when for the Visions book and Mark Polton. And so it really is about just working your ass off and being disciplined and putting your stuff out there. And those opportunities come from it. And I'm so grateful that John did that and had my piece in that Visions book filled with all those great artists. It was so great to be in it, and grateful for this too. I don't ever think of anything but the work. Keep working and show people you're serious, and the rest takes care of itself. So yeah, that is, you want to tell me like what a crazy day it is to see this piece come together, and just how much I've improved since then. You guys may not know this, but I had to rework that piece and the Cyberfrog card. I contacted Ethan about it and Mark about it, and thank God there was time to do it because I didn't have glasses yet, and I was blind working on those things. I couldn't see shit detail-wise. I couldn't see anything once I got to how close I get to do detail work. It's crazy. Yeah, elbow grease turns to assets. And you know what they say, the more I practice, the luckier I get. It's so true. Can't stay just saying hi. Sean Crummell, thank you for popping in. Please do leave a like, and thank you for being here. I do appreciate you, my friend. And hail Vero, great to see you. And Frog G, where's Frog G? Where's my man Frog G? I think Frog G's in here somewhere. Where are you? I'm having male refrigerator blindness right now. But yeah, guys, it's about putting that time in. But when I got that message from John about a month ago, I was like, I'm going to make the greatest Visions piece that I could possibly make. It's got to be something really cool. And the layout just sort of flowed. It just came together. And, it's the same thing with the painting process. It's been a real rewarding process working on this. And I can't think of a better way to be celebrating my last couple of days in my 46th year than working on a piece for one of the first guy over the wall of from the pros to Comicsgate, Mr. John Malin. Hail to you, sir, wherever you find yourself, which I'm guessing is in Michigan. Oh, man. Unless John's been lying the whole time and he's just somewhere in Rhode Island. I mean, that'd be kind of disappointing, don't you think? If we found out John was just hanging out in Rhode Island this whole time. I can't see it. Rhode Island's not big enough for John. Sean, are you doing 2 Visions pieces? Yes, I am. You totally just... John, where would I be? You guys are like my working memory here. Yes. So not only... So yes, I forgot about that. Not only am I in this Visions book with one paid piece from John of my own character, but I'm also in it with another paid piece for one of my good buddies. That's right. Holy cow. Yeah, guys, my brain can only process so many reasonably positive things. And the struggle is, and the hard work of doing this stuff has always been just the accepted, that's what it's going to be. And so the fruits of the labor are never something I've ever taken for granted or even just expected. I just work hard and do my best. But yeah, that does do my head in right there. Good heavens. Yeah, that's right. There's going to be 2 pieces by me in this book. Holy cow. Whew. What are you going to do? It's all a cover. John is a secret Canadian. I shudder to think. The Michigan Dog Man. That's right. I just noticed the door carving looks like the creature behind the door. You've got it. That's right. Oh, I'm so glad that reads. Thank you, Teflon Ron, for that. I appreciate it. In the wise words of Mrs. Sanjetti, take the compliment. You're absolutely right. And I'm doing my best. To just, freaking take it all in, man. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But CG is like that, man. I mean, it's, yeah, I mean, it's a funny thing when I think about when people look at Double Impact and the show I do with Gabe. Just consider for a minute like how funny it is. The reason I reached out to Gabe was to go, oh hey man, I just saw you had Van Damme in your background. That's awesome. I love Van Damme too. I'm a massive fan. And a couple, however many episodes later of doing Double Impact, you never know, that when you're going to meet people and it's going to take you on a new adventure. And if there's one thing Comicsgate's about, it's those new adventures. Oh, Teflon Ron dropping a super chat. I haven't seen the cheerleaders today. Well, Teflon Ron, let me make sure that we take care of that for you because we live to see it.
Charge!
Thank you. I appreciate it, Teflon Ron. Super chats are always greatly appreciated. So thank you. John is dropping links to Gabe's channel, absolutely, and his book by the great David Brohawk Williams. We love you, David. And just keep working, brother. Keep working. King David Brohawk Williams. Just doing great stuff on that book. Yeah, Scottsley, charge indeed. I'm really excited about Truth, Justice, American Way. I backed all 3 covers on that book. And just the double page spreads, there's elements of that book that remind me of some of the fun, particularly the pirate character, some of the fun toys that we had in the 80s. And I would love to see that pirate character turned into an action figure. He just looks great. Maybe that's something Patrick Thomas Parnell can make happen for us, is get some of those characters in action figure form. Although I know PTP is busy with his own creations that he's got going. And again, guys, do check out, what is it called? Is it Rise of the Seekers? Hey, what is up, my friend? Good to see you. How are you doing? Gary Martin in the house. The inking legend. Do those cheerleaders deliver waffles? You better believe they do, Mr. Martin, sir. Shri, Gary Martin, as we would say in India. Hail to you, my friend, and much love. Your artwork continues to inspire me. Let's see here. Dojo Kun Comics, Projectile, Reptile. There it is. Dojo Kun. Check it out. Gary Martin's Instagram. Yeah, if you need to have your mind melted, check out his Bride of Frankenstein. There's 2 people who have done amazing Bride of Frankenstein piece lately. One of them is Gary Martin, of course, with his brilliant Bride of Frankenstein inks of the great Elsa Lancaster. The other is Miles Tevis, who is a concept artist. It's Miles, Miles Tevis, his Instagram. He did a Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein on their honeymoon, and it is a sexy Robert McGinnis-inspired piece, the egg tempera artist and pinup artist, who's actually someone who influences me. And man, is that a great piece. Those 2 hit it out of the park with the Bride of Frankenstein. And that's a character that so many people have painted. So when somebody really, delivers on that, it's a sign of considerable skill. I love Gary Martin's Bride. Just a beautiful bit of inking, virtuosity. It's great stuff, man. Love that stuff. That is what it's all about. I mean, and if you're fortunate enough to live in a world where you get to be surrounded by great artists and great artwork, then you're doing all right. That's what it's all about. Yeah, hail to Gary, indeed. Yeah, service with a smile. That's what we do here. Yeah, Dan Lawless's YouTube channel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Dan's at work today or if he's got stuff going on. But I did send him a message and told him if he wants to pop in, he is welcome to. But that was at the start of the stream, so I'm thinking Dan may have some work, or he might be on another stream for all I know. But hail to Dan Lawless, man. Always love my man, Grosse Pointe Dank. Gotta love the man. His stuff is great, man. He does such great pulp stuff. And it's like you think about those guys because they're all on a show together with Gabe on Gabe's channel, the Players Club. And I mean, those guys, man, they're so fun. They're so fun to watch, but their work is just a blast. And that's what I learned more about inking from Gary Martin's book than I learned in my pen and ink class in college. And it was the same thing. It was like between Gary Martin's book and tracing Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein book. Actually, I didn't trace it because I didn't have a light table or anything that was that good at that point. So I was just eyeballing it. But I still learned a ton about inking from Bernie Wrightson. And then the rest of the stuff, materials and everything else, and then just his process with his work, I learned from Gary. So, yeah. My education and my brother from another mother was in the chat. You guys know him as the groomsman, and he seconded that. He remembers us thumbing through that book. We both have our copies at the ready where we can get them. Perth Comics right there, the YouTube channel. Perth, indeed. Yes. Players Club is one of the best shows on YouTube. Agreed. CG is so big now, people can get lost in the crowd of streams. You're absolutely right. But it's a good thing in a sense because what it does, or at least what I hope it does, is that it helps people to find, who might not be captured by one particular stream. It's not their cup of tea, to find something that they're into on another channel and then get to those, get to everybody else at that starting point. There's a guy whose channel I love, whose his channel is Horror Monster Collectibles. And I don't know, none of these folks have anything particular to do with CG, but I like to reach out to people in the horror community that I admire and just let them know I'm there. He's checked out my artwork. He's been by the channel, and who knows if that's somebody who one day says, I want to back some CG books. He doesn't collect comics, but you never know. Sometimes people in the comment section will scroll through and go, hey, wait a second, you and I both like this channel. Let me check out your artwork. And then you've got somebody who's coming into the comic shop, so to speak. The virtual comic shop that we're creating here for a conversation. Come in, just to check and see what's up, and then you leave with a bunch of comics under your arms, and we've got it done. Buy some comics. That's what we're here to do. There we go. Now that bat is starting to come together, and you guys can see, if I can just move that a little closer so you guys can see what's happening right there. We're just getting that guy in there, and then we're just going to let him sort of sit in the background a little bit as we zoom out so we can get the whole sort of sense of this piece. I'm going to tell you this, guys. The scales on that snake were a pain in the you-know-what. Holy cow. I was like, what have I gotten myself into? And then I reminded myself, I've gotten myself into John Malin's Visions book, and that's exciting. Let me tell you. Let's see here. Not here. I have a lot of artwork. I have done a lot of artwork for Nosfero. I know you guys know this, but in case anybody is joining us late, holy cow, have I done a lot of work on this book. My God. Let me see here. Maybe Gary will come on and speak. He can come on anytime he wants to. I don't know what his Twitter is, but if he lets me know, I'll send him a link. No doubt. Gary will come on and speak with you, being he's in the chat. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to have Gary on. Yeah, it's out. Bring in the horror monster guy one day if he'll come to your channel. I think he probably would. I don't know if he does interviews though, or does live streams. Some people don't are nervous by them, and he usually just does video reviews and things. But I would love to have him on. He's a great dude out of Texas. He gives honest reviews. Doesn't get the stuff sent to him for free. He's not into that. He does. I don't even think last I checked, he didn't even monetize his YouTube channel, because he was like, I just want to give you guys an honest take on this stuff. I mean, he's a hardcore. You've painted those snake scales a lot this year. You're telling me. I do get to the point, I was joking with my wife about this, where you start thinking about, I may have to kill this character off just so I don't have to paint them anymore because there's too much detail. No, that's not. I don't make my writing decisions that way, but it has crossed my mind. And so, Bob Ross used to always talk about this, but it's almost time for another bravery test, folks. So here you go. See how this goes. And if you don't think this kind of stuff's nerve-wracking, I don't know what to tell you, because it is. Let's see here. There we go. There's the blue tube of paint I need. Where's your snake scale boots, Sean? Well, I've already got a snake belt buckle right here. So it's a Diamondback Rattler split in half here. Let's pull that. Hold on a second while I whip this thing out. This right here is my snake belt buckle I'm wearing right now. It's a Diamondback Rattler's head split in half, taxidermy, and then dropped with some lucite on it to make two Diamondbacks facing each other. So yeah, that's my belt buckle. Yeah, gotta love that stuff. So yeah, I've always got reference nearby, man. Always got reference nearby. Wish I'd known you were streaming earlier. I was thinking about calling off work. Went into it now, and I'm missing half the convo. Well, don't worry. We're always here. We're always here for you at the Waffle Lodge, Admiral. We appreciate your work, by the way. because I know that our time and money, right, is what we're spending on these comics and what we're putting into them. So you know how it goes. And I do appreciate you guys for that. Let me tell you, if I haven't said it enough today on the stream. Let me see. So what I'm going to do here is one of the more gut-wrenching things you have to do, but it's a necessary part of the process. So let's see how this goes. Sometimes it's a disaster. Sometimes it's not. There we go. Mixing up that paint. I want to get the viscosity of the paint as close as I can. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Then you got to just take another run at it. But let's see how this goes. Let me adjust the camera just so you guys, make sure you guys don't miss it. Prince Admiral has to work. Exactly. I don't know why a Prince Admiral has to work. Nosfero, does this sound like a man who drives SW's mad with frog books? You're absolutely right. And hail to the chief, man. Hail to Ethan, man. Keeping it real, getting it done, braving the mania, and bringing the drama, the action, the excitement, as Prince Nassim Hamed used to say about his boxing. So you can see, like, I always spend a lot more time on the palette mixing up the paint because you want to get it right there so you're not having to fool with it on the actual painting. So let's see here. All right, let's just do it. There we go. There we go. And now we're starting to get that sheen right there. Do you see that? That's the key. What is up, Aaron Anderson? Good to see you, and hail to you. Man, you guys are fast on this chat. David Brohawk Williams, check out his YouTube channel. My enemies aren't going to stake themselves. That's right. Get it done, man. Get those vampires out of here. Bass Reeves, check it out. And indeed. So when you guys are looking at when I'm painting the snake scales, there's the detailed aspect of it, and then there's the ambient aspect of it. So when you see this part of the snake right here where the light's hitting and those scales are being washed out because of the glare and the sheen, same thing is going to be happening over here. That's what gives it that tactile quality. And so that's always a nerve-wracking part. When I put the details of the scales in, and then I go in and I want to wash over them and kind of just ghost them out a little bit. It's almost like a color hold or whatever, as if you were doing it in digital, but it's much more of a nightmare to do because it's on a painting and it's harder to adjust it. Can be done. It's just a little bit more work to bring it back if you need to. And there you go. Then you're starting to get the sense of that snake and its realism and its dimensional quality. And that bit is so important for making the audience get sucked into the painting and you get sucked into that particular space. It's the stone texture, it's the scales, it's the stone on the ground, like every little bit of it. It's the wall back there, and the skin tone and the figure. Every bit helps. What's up, Hunch, the Dirty Roofer? It's great to see you. I'm so used to seeing you on Double Impact. It's great to see you in this. Jesus, Sean, that picture is a thing of beauty. Thank you, Hunch. I appreciate it, my friend. Tip my hat to you, brother. We just keep them working, man. While they sleep, we work. We grind, man. I've been up since And guys, when I say I've been up since 6:25, that's not a complaint. I mean, I wake up from my coffin and bed. I wake up from in the morning and I'm like, I'm ready to work. I'm excited. I feel enthusiastic because I know you guys are out there working. You guys are putting your hard-earned money into Nosfero and into all of these CG projects. And I do not want my painting in the Visions book to be, one of the weak links in that wonderful godlike campaign. When that book comes into your mailbox, I don't want my work to be in any way not bringing something positive to what I know John is making, which is a stellar and exciting book for you guys. He's been making great work in the mainstream industry and in Comicsgate since day one. And so we owe him our best, right? That's what we got to do for the coach. And I remember when I was making that, I mean, it's a really funny thing because I don't really put my kids out there that often. Most people don't. I mean, on the internet, I'm not saying that as a CG thing or anything. Most people who are reasonably wary of the world don't usually put their kids out there. But when I had John on my stream for the first time, one of the fun things, hey, what's up, Waylam? Grab this. Waylam, glad to see you here. I'm going to learn how to speak. Got some free time between Zoom calls. Oh, Lord knows, man. Came to watch the magic. Well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. Weak link, that is. Yes, indeed. I know what you mean. Yep, never be that guy. You're right. But yeah, man. I mean, it's like, let's see if I can crack my back here. Oh, there you go. Did you guys hear that? That was an elbow on that drawing arm. Woo-wee. Sounds like a creaky gate. But yeah, I mean, when you're putting this stuff together and you're putting this work in there, you want to make sure that it's people are looking at it and they're feeling that kind of energy. And I feel like everything that I'm seeing right now in CG is, we're bringing our A game. We're working our tails off to make this stuff great. We're painting tails, dare I say, to make it better. And so, yeah, this is the fun part. This is the final detailing phase of this. And then I give it a big look, scan it in and all that stuff. And then it's ready to ship out. But yeah, man, it's fun. And my wife has got, knows everybody in CG. Oh shoot. I realized I lost my train of thought, man. I must be getting out of it. I got to turn the air conditioning up. I think it's getting on to noon. Here's where I was going the first time. So when John came on to my show and he was the one who kicked my ass to get my E over to StreamYards, I never really put my kids out there or anything like that. But my daughter calls him the Raised by the Wolves guy. That's what she knows all the intros that I've done for Comicsgate Kings. And so I asked him if he would say hey to my kids. And John was kind enough to oblige my silliness. It's the final countdown. Indeed it is. CG artist's work is a little unfocused. Well, that's definitely true. I'm a little unfocused right now. It depends on if our glass prescription is correct. You see us all getting glasses when from doing this detailed work, and then you'll have those moments where you go, "Holy cow, I can see!" Because you get for those of you guys who have glasses, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the worst part of the whole glasses thing is when you don't know you need glasses and you're just getting these terrible freaking headaches from trying to focus and your eyes not focusing. So, oh man, it was such a relief when I got glasses. I mean, just holy cow. I know for a fact I was painting for at least 7 months, really needing glasses and not knowing it. And oh my gosh, that was something. It was, and so I remember I emailed Ethan and said, Ethan, can I rework the piece? I just found out I'm blind for the Cyberfrog card. Ethan gave me some extra time. And so the card you see right now, and Ethan was so funny. He wrote me back. He was like, this is so much better. I was like, yeah, I know. I couldn't see anything. He was, I guess he was all right with the first one, but I wasn't. When I saw it with glasses on, I was like, what the hell? But yeah, Ethan's a sport. Bless him. Ethan is definitely a sport. There we go. So I'm putting some of that texture. And you can sort of see how the stone is ending up here. Ellie, good to see you, my friend. Hail to you, my waffle friend, my friend in waffles. Do you think Joe Ball's optometrist loves his business? I bet he does. Joe Ball is crushing it, man. Working with my good friend Phil Diaz. Love to Phil. That card needs to be a poster. I tell you what, Ethan has got no shortage of amazing artwork of Cyberfrog, and I really do think that was his attitude about it. I think that at some point when he gets to which he probably is already at a good page count, he might do what they did with Mike Allred's Madman trading cards, which they put out a book that was every page of it was one of the trading cards. So Dave Stevens' Madman trading card, Art Adams' Madman trading card, they all were put out in a book. And Bernie Wrightson's trading card set is funding on Kickstarter. They're going to take all that artwork he did for the Bernie Wrightson sets and put those into a book that collects all that beautiful color art. I love Bernie Wrightson's black and white stuff, but as a painter, his monster, and as someone who's illustrating with paint, let's say that his painted stuff is something I've been really wanting a collection of for a long time. So I'm really excited about those trading cards. 20 people in the chat. My God, guys, hit the like button. Thank you for being here. LASIK is even better. Got it 4 years ago. After 30 years of glasses and contacts, you'll see even better. We may get to that point at some point. I'm due for an optometrist meeting, says Timmy Mello. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, guys, I'm one of those people where, because I got my cornea cracked when I was a kid by a Matchbox car on the playground when I was like little. I've always I don't like things coming near my eyes, so I hate people moving stuff near my eyes. Like when they move the camera in to your eye that they take the images of, I always want to shove them away from me. So I got to kind of sit on my hands when I'm there. I'm like, come near me, man. You don't want to counter punch your optometrist. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. And they deserve better. They don't deserve your abuse. Hard enough doing that job. But it's a great thing to get your eyes looked after, because you got to take care of, you can't wear your brain out trying to stare through bad vision. It's not good for you, man. Not good for you at all. And I remember John got glasses. I wanted to ask him how that changed things for him, because I imagine he was getting some headaches before he got glasses. I mean, you just go, holy cow, I can't see anything at a certain point. There we go. That smoke's going to look great. That's coming together. Yeah, Joe Ball's Death, guys. Do check it out, man. Shanth, you might consider investing in hobby magnifying glasses with multiple strengths. I thought about it, but let's be honest, guys. I'm such a detail addict. If I get stuff if I'm allowed to focus more, this stuff ain't never getting done. The biggest thing I like to do every now and again is just put the work up on the sofa over there or over here and just take it 10 steps back and just see how it holds up, because that's a big part of getting the stuff to, to really come together and look good as a final, is making sure you're stepping back from it enough. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's big, man. It's big. What's like hanging pictures on a wall up close? You got to step back to see if they're level sometimes. Even with a leveler, I run into that. Sean's going to have to get jewelers monocles. Me with a monocle is too far, because I'm going to have one day and a parrot. It's just a matter of time. Let's see here. Yeah, Joe Ball's YouTube channel. Do check it out, guys. I've been wearing glasses since high school. I've always hated that glaucoma. Oh, yeah, the glaucoma test where they puff air into your eyes is the worst. Yeah, not a fan of that, man. Yeah. Yeah, way too many close calls with stuff hitting me in the eye, and I'm very froggy, dare I say, when it comes to things coming up in my face. I'm like, easy, friend, easy. Yeah, I've definitely got some reflexes for that stuff. So now what I'm going to do is move the camera over just a little bit here so you guys can see. This vampire here in the background needs a little bit more attention on here. Yeah, guys, 40, coming to the end of completing 46th birthday, so completing 46 years on this planet. And I have to tell you guys, I am just smiling ear to ear that the timing on this piece's deadline lined up so well, because it feels like a really great way to sort of step back and think about the year, hanging out. Gosh, everybody started back at school in my household. The missus is a teacher and the kids at school. And so yesterday was a time where I just kind of needed to spend time with them and see how everybody was doing, hear about their days, that kind of thing. So I missed my brothers on CG team. But the family stuff is important, but I am so grateful for all that stuff, because we have a good time, man. We have a really good time doing this. Yeah, man. Oh yeah. The glaucoma test. Holy cow. Yeah. That ain't good. And then, I just got the bonus features off of my Blu-ray, so I could have them on my computer, because I buy the Shout Factory Blu-rays, and my brother helped me get it onto my computer so that I can do still frames of Jack Asher's beautiful lighting on Brides of Dracula. I'm a big fan of the Hammer horror movies, and Jack Asher was a lighting cameraman on some of their finest stuff. And if you've never seen a Hammer horror film, it's where all of that crazy, great, crazy blue, green, reddish lighting you see in the horror movies from that era, that it's in the Haunted Mansion in Disney World. All that stuff is inspired by what they used to refer to as Hammerland, which was the environment that people like Jack Asher and Terrence Fisher, the director, created in all those Hammer films. And if you love Hammer horror, Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee and all of the great actors who, worked in those movies, those bonus features that Shout Factory's putting out are just so worth it, man. At some point, Vaughn and I are going to have to do a show where we talk about some Hammer horror movies, which I know he'll be down for, because he loves him the horror, just like I do. He's my brother in horror, and yeah, we're going to have some fun. Let me get those scales right where they wrap around right there. I want to. There's the grid lines that I put in there just to get the gist of what the perspective is going to be, and then I like to kind of paint over them a little bit so that it's a little bit more like the scales are coming forward, not like they're being outlined, and make the dimensional quality of that come together. There we are. There we go. It's coming together. And look at this. It's a whole little world right here. As Bob Ross would say, it's your world. It's your world, folks. There you go. Oh, wow. Holy cow. By the way, Shanth, your double impact, now triple impact broadcast is hilarious. Let me tell you, Gary, my brother, when you see the new intro with Enter Jericho Green, you are going to be laughing your head off, smiling ear to ear. When I sent it to Jericho, he was just freaking dying. He called me on Saturday. We talked about it, and we were just cracking up, man. We're having too much fun. I mean, and I'm so glad you guys can all be a part of it. One day you may have to switch up to only painting feet instead of inches. That's true. You're right, man. Shant, when it comes to leveling, they make some great laser levelers that are tiny and can clip on to near anything. Holy cow. A buddy of my, a buddy who's my main detail, God, I got to adjust my glasses. Detail carpenter has one the size of a 50-cent piece. Holy cow. I have to try that out, man. Hunch, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I got to check that out and see what's doing. Von Klaus's YouTube channel right there, guys. Yes, do check it out. Von Klaus's Terror in the Trenches, man. He just crossed. We had a big milestone with that. Let me just double check and make sure I have the exact milestone correct here. On our last stream, yes, he crossed over to 1,200 backers, and right now he's at 1,209. So congratulations to Von Klaus. Let's keep that going. Ink Art 1, absolutely. Ellie Munoz, the bouillabaisse bomb had me dying. Guys, I was crying over that. I mean, my ribs hurt after that show, man. It is hilarious. You guys need to review Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man. Absolutely. I want to do that one. I want to do Point Break because it's such a classic. We got to do Point Break at some point. We're doing Roadhouse tonight. That should be a blast. And I know Jericho has a bunch too that we were talking about reviewing. But I mean, we're just a couple of guys, who just love action. We love these movies, and it's so great that you guys turn out and we all get together and we talk about it, because I think there's a lot of people who've never seen these movies and can't believe they exist. They're like, holy cow, like, what is this movie? What is this about? And yeah, there's a lot of people who said they're picking up these action movies because of, and checking them out and watching them for the first time because of that show. I got your bouillabaisse right here. That's right, man. Oh my God. He was killing me with that. I mean, we were just cracking up. So I think we need to make an action movie. Jericho Green, Gabe, and myself need to make an action movie. Come out to San Diego. Gabe will help us figure it out because, Gabe's the man. And yeah, and it should be called, like, the tagline for the movie should be Booyah Base and On the Case, or Booyah Base and In Your Face. That's what the movie's going to be called. Let's see here. You guys need to review Harley Davidson. Got that? I got you Booyah Base right. Gary Martin's Instagram. Yeah, guys, if you need some inspiration today, do check out Gary Martin's Instagram if you want to see some absolutely breathtaking work by one of Comicsgate's masters of the craft. Just a hell of a beautiful collection of work on that Instagram. And I always find that having a lot of art Instagrams that I follow definitely adds to the quality of my day, because you get a chance to see, you start the day with beautiful artwork, and if you go down the list of Instagram, if you're ever like, well, where's some good artwork, to follow on Instagram, go to my Instagram and look at all the people I follow. And if they're not people I know or friends of mine or whatever, because not everybody does artwork, but everyone else I follow on there is probably doing artwork outside of family and friends. And so you'll get a really good group of artists just checking that stuff out. People like Nick Alm and who are some of the people I follow? I follow Anna, of course, but Nick Alm, Costa Darosowski, I think is his name. I'm not sure if I'm getting that right, but there's some seriously amazing people. And of course, Gary Martin you'll find on there as well. Following Gary, of course. Miles Tevis, his stuff is great. Just a lot of great stuff out there. Cameron Scott Davis, former student who's a concept artist on Guitar Hero 2, a lot of Guitar Hero stuff. So yeah, there's some great stuff out there. There's Jericho Green. Indeed, check out his Instagram or his link tree. There you go. Wow. Gabe's YouTube channel, Gabriel El Taib, my man. Hail, Gabe. Much love. Teflon Ron. What's all this gabagoo talk over here? Over here. Yeah, man. Holy cow. And I mean, he was such a sport. I said, Jericho, I need you to get me some, because Gabe and I, when we did this thing, I said, Gabe, I need you to take a picture with your head at the same angle as Van Damme in the Double Impact poster. And we built this crazy thing out of just sheer love of action movies. And you guys showing up, by the way. And we did that. And then when it came time, Gabe said to me, he goes, when are we going to get Jericho in the intro? And I said, all right. I was like, I'm going to take a day. I said, Jericho walking into this madness, God bless him. I go, I need you to take photos of your head at a front view, a 3/4, and a 3/4 from both sides, so I have some room to play and figure out what the hell I'm going to do with this thing. And he sent me those pics to my iPhone, and then I went into Photoshop, video editing, and a little while later, you're going to see the intro that we do tonight. And hopefully you'll laugh at it as much as we did, because we had a riot. We're just cracking up. Irene's Draw YouTube channel is right there, guys. Do check it out. And Irene's Fiendish Chapter 2 Origin sign up is right there. So do sign up for that. I know that she is waist deep in fulfillment on the first Fiendish book. So yeah, let's make that email list grow and put some more fuel in the tank, because I know that's I fulfilled 2 Indiegogo books, and it takes forever because we're very much one family show, and with plus two kids. Although I think the kids are going to hopefully be able to help us a little with that this time around. It's like when kids get to that point where they're able to actually help with stuff and drive themselves places and things, man, that just makes life easier. It's a big shift. There we go. Get those scales in there with a little bit more authority right there. There you go. Oh yeah, that's going to be fun. So let me just zoom in on the scales right there so you guys can see it. See if I get a good angle on it without the light reflecting too much. Yeah, you guys can see what we're doing here. There we go. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one to see come together. Like when this, I can't wait to see this thing when it gets into print. But you can see what I mean. Let's see here, Shanth. Have you considered changing the name to the Minority Report? That's totally perfect. Hey, put that in the chat tonight when we're doing the show, because that will crack everybody up. You know us. Everybody will laugh. I dream of Rini. Hey. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Teflon Ron, you may have helped me come up with an idea for that intro. Let's ponder that for a minute. Let's ponder that. Now I just need infinite time and I'm good. You could play I Dream of Genie opening for Rini for opening. See, there you go. There you go with the follow-up. Yeah, that's a great idea. Now I just got to find time. Yeah, that would be a great idea. Yeah, good job. Teflon Ron for the win there. See, that's the thing, man. Bring in super chats, brilliant insights. There you go. But just the thought of doing that makes me tired because I know how far I have to take it for it to be funny. It's like Photoshop, adjusting, editing, and all that shit. But we'll get there. Hey, listen. We ain't afraid of hard work here in Comicsgate. No cowards, man. We don't do cowards here. We do hard work, dedication. That's what we do, folks. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it is honestly, it's just, it's fun. The time is the biggest factor we're always dealing with here. You know, like when I think about how many videos I've done for Ethan over the years. Like those represent like over 100 hours, easy over 100 hours of work, way more than that. When I did the Comicsgate Kings intro, I spent an entire day getting that thing put together. And then I went in and I had to add more because it was, Ethan wanted me to put some more people in it actually, and was adding. But yeah, I mean, I spend so much time on those, and it was all just to keep building the excitement, man. Just to keep building the excitement. I spent a ton of time on Anna's. I think I spent about 2 days on that one, to get her face over Robert Plant, and then, you know, get the editing and the music timing and all that other stuff, figuring out what fonts that I want to use for things. And it sounds crazy, but it was, you know, Shane's didn't take that long. John's, there was already a version of it. So that was easier. It was just getting high res footage and getting screen caps so I could make it look like him and Shane on both of theirs. They look like they're kind of saying the words at certain points. But that was fun. Yeah, one plan at a time. You're absolutely right. Quick question. Trying to paint Joaquin Joker's face using your technique. First red and then white on top of that. Would you add an additional undiluted white for the face paint? Holy cow. Help to buy this man some waffles. Thank you, Teflon Ron. My God, I'm going to come back to that, Ellie, so hang on for a second. But Teflon Ron, thank you. This one is for you, my friend. You have earned it.
Charge!
Right on, yeah. Whoa, that was two in a row. Hold on, that got out of hand. But you deserve it, but I just didn't mean to do that. I was trying to get to comments. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Quick question, trying to paint Joaquin Joker's face, because that is a tricky question. Because, yes. Let me look at it. Hold on a second. Let me call up Joaquin Phoenix Joker and see what I've got here. Joker movie. I just want to see what he's got. Hang on a sec. Let's see what we got here. Images. All right. I just want to see if I can find a as close to a non-doctored as I can find of it. Okay, so the same principles apply. So we've got white and cools on the highlights. And then what we've got, here's where things get a little bit dicey, because the paint is sitting up on top of the face. The thing that you're seeing in the shadows is part the flesh tone coming through, but it's different. It breaks some of the physics of what makeup would do on skin. So instead of getting warm in the shadows, because it's a pancake makeup, you're getting a little bit of warm, but it's much more like a purple. So if I were you, I would think about taking an alizarin crimson or like more of a magenta purplish red for those shadows, and I think it'll make it work better. And then when you get into where the ears are exposed and the side of the face, the neck, then go with your CAD on that. That's what I would say, if that makes sense. Hey, what's up, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969? Great to see you. She's anything but typical is the perfect line for that song by Anna. Yeah, and that's, of course, as you guys know, that is some deep lore, because that all goes back to Anna in the suit for that wedding. And so, of course, I thought it would be hilarious to put her in a suit. Plus, I like to try to do something that's a little unexpected. You know what I mean? And with Anna, it seemed to me that would be like, I wanted her to laugh when she saw it. That was the main thing. Anna's sense of humor is, everybody's got their own specific sense of humor, but Anna's, I just try to think about what would make her laugh. The same thing goes, like, I think when the best reaction that I've ever gotten from an intro was when Shane saw his, because he was waiting for the dig or the punchline, and it was just purely positive. And then all of you guys started putting, the tiger in the chat when he came in, and it was so fun, man. It was great to see, because Shane was expecting pterodactyl, and it was great to see him kind of lifted up by the just by the enthusiasm that you guys had and getting an intro, where he came on the show. And I never know when, like, I send those to Ethan, but I never know when he's gonna, what moment they're gonna happen. So it's only because I was, watching the show like crazy that I happened to be there for a lot of the first viewings. Graham Nolan just cracked up when he saw The Eagle Has Landed intro I did for him. And yeah, that's the goal. The goal is to make people laugh, and also for it to be something that is enjoyable for everybody. It's you guys tune in, and Teflon Ron, I mean, that's a great idea for Reenie's intro. And you know what I mean. You guys are watching the shows a lot. I've been painting a lot, so I haven't been able to watch as much except for having it on the background. And you guys know when something's a good fit. You guys know when something's a good fit for it. Let me see here. All right, let's do a little bit of warms. Holy cow, the chat's moving. Sorry about this, guys. Oh my God, you're still going. That's right, I am, Julie. I have paint. Will paint. Yeah, charge and deep. Robert Palmer. I know who you meant. Sorry, Robert Palmer. I know I get it wrong sometimes. I don't know why I say Robert Plant. It's not like we're talking about freaking Led Zeppelin. It's crazy. Robert Plant. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, it's oh God, it's one of those things. Yeah, hello Teflon Ron. Hello Julie Pascal. Yeah, I'm just painting, guys. I'm painting. I thought I would do a longer painting stream today and just go till I start losing all ability to talk and think, which happens quite often because it's the last day. It's fun. It's fun to work on something on the day it's due, to like do the finishing touches on it. It may look like I'm doing, a lot for finishing touches, but it's because a big part of that is looking at it, and then there we go. Looking at it over the weeks you're working on it and knowing exactly what you're going to do to resolve it. So to me, they feel like finishing touches. Like finishing touches to me can be something like moving a rib cage back on a figure, which is what I did with her, because I wanted to get this particular angle I was looking for. There we go. So yeah, we're having fun, man. We're just painting. We're painting. There we go. And then that little bit of shadow right there on the smoke. Whoops, sorry guys, moved the camera a little too much so you guys see all my pile of junk over there. Whew, thank God John Malin's other piece isn't there because I'm not supposed to be showing that one. But yeah, I mean that's the fun part of it. You push the smoke back right in there, and then it just gives it that added kind of fun. Just it's light, dark, and setting up that rhythm on the value. Let's see here. What do I want to do there? Got that. I don't want to fool with that just yet. I'm not sure what I want to do there. So we'll see. I mean, it's more or less done. I mean, in a large sense, but it's not super perfect yet. So we got to get it there. Got to get it to super perfect for the coach. It's like, it's just got to be fun, man. I mean, somebody's got this on their wall one day, you know, as a poster or a print. That's the fun thing I like to think about, you know. That means I've done my job. What is up, Art and Times of Jay Ryan? It's great to see you. Did someone say Reenie? Yep, somebody did. You bet. You bet. Yeah, we were just talking about Reenie. Reenie and intros and all of that stuff. All that different stuff I do in this neck of the woods. Because, you know, I mean, gosh, I think I forget what stream it is. I'm sure a lot of you guys were there. But there was a stream that Ethan was doing a while back where he was talking about the importance of dialing up the entertainment in everybody's streams. And if you really think about it, that's been a huge part of what I've done from the start with, you know, doing stuff like the Weathers Wave video that I did for Eric Weathers, the intro for the CG team, and, you know, all of that. So I'm trying to think of how many different things I've done videos for. But it really is about, you know, trying to make this feel as fun and professional as possible. And when I say professional, I mean, like, you know, the indie professional, you know, the comedy professional aspect of it. And I think we're doing great. And, you know, I'm certainly not the only person doing that. You know, there have been some really great videos done by other people. Let me be super clear about that. But it's just about trying to make sure that you're, you know, that you're contributing and pulling your own weight to this stuff. Because that's what it is. I mean, no one, the key to doing stuff in Comicsgate, but I think probably in any healthy capitalist environment, is just to work and talk about what you do with people. Tell people what you're doing so people can find you who are looking for you to do, you know, who are looking for people to do that kind of work. But just keep working and putting stuff out there. I never had any expectation of anything, you know, when I was doing those intros, but I wanted to help. I wanted to contribute and do things. And, you know, it all kind of goes from there. People notice, you know, when someone's productive in Comicsgate. And they certainly notice you guys are great at spotting, you know, projects that you want to support and, you know, giving attention to them. So we appreciate you guys for that. Hello, John. Everybody saying hello, hello, hello. Yes, Lord Crackhead 33's YouTube channel. Do check it out. What other CG streamers is giving weather updates? Come on, son. Yeah, exactly. We get the weather's, you know, updates here on CG. You tell me where you're from. I'm going to look up your weather and I'm going to tell you what kind of day you can expect. That's what we're doing here. That's what we do in Comicsgate. You find me the weather conscientious other comic book movements out there, okay? I don't think they exist. Here we are conscientious about your commute. Conscientious about the weather. That is what it's about. Where else do you find people who will stream for, you know, 3 hours like this and just keep going? Here. The bar is high. The bar is high in CG for stamina of streams, that's for sure. Here we go. Let me see here. That. There we go. Starting to get that overall vibe of this thing. What's up, Cranberry Langers? It's always a sunny day in Comicsgate. You're absolutely right. Stephen Rockwood Drawings YouTube channel. Do check it out. So important. Yes, indeed. It is always sunny. Years there are some ladies in, I hear there's ladies in inflatable pools who stream themselves sleeping. That is very creepy to me because I worry about people drowning, but I believe it's true. Yeah, I mean, you can either spend 40 years gaining talent or you can, do that. And that is a talent. And it does have an expiration date. So by God, get everything you can out of it. If that's what tickles your fancy, get it done. Hey, what's up? Cranberry Langer says, everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, everybody's having a good time today, man. It's a good day. It's sunny in my neck of the woods. It was a little humid the other day, but we're getting things done. And I can start to, I know it's summer and it's still humid out, but I can feel Halloween and fall coming. And that puts me in a good mood because I love Halloween and I love fall weather. You know, just I do. I've always loved it. So I cannot wait to really, I mean, I've got Halloween decorations already here, guys. It's bad. Like my wife goes, now remember, my dear husband, we have a lot of Halloween decorations, so we don't have to order any more. And she said that to me the day after I had just ordered some Halloween decorations. So they came in the mail. It was not meant to be an act of defiance, but sometimes it is. Yeah, welcome. Well, they sleep in bed. It's just showing you, Sean, that little bikini action and some ASMR would help you get views for sure. Yeah, I'm telling you what, man. Holy Lord. It's so funny. My wife and I had a conversation about that once, and we must be too hypervigilant because she's like, don't those people know that there are genuine psychopaths out in the world? I said, yeah, I know. I just would not want anybody getting fixated on me for any reason whatsoever. And you see that stuff and you're just like going, guys, be careful. You know, do be careful. Young people out there who are taking that road. There are some country fried cuckoo birds out there, and you got to be careful. There we go. There we are. Now I try to get some highlights on some of those little, you know, dings in the surface right there because those are kind of important. It's important to get those in there because then it's funny. It's this like 3 value rule of thumb that gives it that kind of gravity of, oh, I'm looking at a stone textured surface. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's their main audience indeed. Sean, did you eat all the Halloween candy already? No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, it depends on who's giving it out. I'd rather buy my own at this age, but you're right. Yeah, that's who spends the most. Yeah, no, it is. That is absolutely more money than sense. Yeah. Well, guys, this is the thing about it, right? What you see when people have total freedom to, you know, make money however they want to make money, you see how different people will approach different opportunities. And it's you know, it's fascinating that is something that has been revealed as the way a lot of people are comfortable, you know, making money, and more power to them. You know, it's not a knock. It's just, I know it flies in the face of what many people hold as an ideology. And I just think that is the funniest thing about it. It's like, guys, come on. It's like, it is what it is. But it's, yeah, definitely gets some, I mean, the backlash that there is when people try to mess with that particular economic interest is like, I was like, whoa. So there's not only money in it, but there are people more than willing to exploit it. And that is just a reality of capitalism and a reality of where we are. Yeah, okay, that's starting to work. Oh my gosh, yeah. Respect the hustle. That's right. I'm liking the fish Thulu monster more. Oh, thank you so much, man. That is what it's all about. Sean's wife. How much did the Halloween decorations cost, Sean? They gave them to me. Yeah, she would never buy that. Yeah, both are God's talents in one way or another. Amen. Yeah, that is true. I mean, look, you know, it's yeah, I mean, I just have never been interested in, you know, outside of the obvious things that I think we all agree on, and I don't want to talk about them at this hour because it makes me nauseous. But yeah, if you are a adult and that is the choice that you are making, then that is your choice. That's just how it is. I want to show you guys some Halloween decorations. Hang on a second, because you got to see this stuff because it's so nerdy. And thank you guys for being here. 3 hours and 20 minutes. My God. So that's supposed to be a homage to Double Impact with double monsters. That's right. Double naked ladies. That's right. It's funny because feminists and modern social justice warrior culture would tell women that beauty is all kinds of different looks, but these e-girls seem to all know what to look like seems to get them money. Yeah, and another thing that they would tell you, and this is the thing, hold on a second while I grab these decorations. Another thing that they would tell you is that the reason why women are doing that is because they're being exploited by men. And what you're seeing is it's quite the opposite way around, that without men being particularly involved and it just being a platform, look what you see happening. All right, let's see if I can get these here. Ooh, this one of them is quite precarious to move. So let's see how this goes. There we are. Yeah. Let me see here. Stop cam. It's the old adage, follow the money. Yes. Yes, sex work is not beneficial for you in the long run 98% of the time. You're absolutely right. Not a good idea. I agree with that. 100%. Admiral, 100%. And it's a very bizarre thing because apparently, people have not covered that in these people's lives. So this right here, and actually let me switch to artist cam so you guys can see it a little better. Hang on. Where is it? Here it is. Artist cam. There you go. Oh, holy cow. I need sleep. This right here is a Spirit Halloween official Haunted Mansion bust. I love the Haunted Mansion so much. Love haunted houses. So this is one of the things I just got, and I absolutely love it. They did a really great job on it, even though it doesn't really exist because it's carved in the thing. So there's not an actual bust, but it's that carved in and it looks like it's following you thing. And then this one right here, which is a plastic tombstone from the Haunted Mansion. Here lies good old Fred. A great big rock fell on his head. One of my favorite tombstones from that attraction. And Spirit Halloween just put out a bunch of Haunted Mansion stuff. And I am a fanatic of Mark Davis and the folks who worked on that attraction. So I love that they're making this stuff now because it's fun. Let's go to the 2 camp setup here. There we go. Woo! And move this over so we can do what we do here. All right. There we go. I'm going to turn you. I'm here to explain. God, you guys are horrendous. Men seem to be willing to go for women that look like women. Apparently, they're willing to spend their lives. Well, that's the crazy thing about it, man. That is the crazy thing about it, which is you see a lot of how this is affecting people, and you'd think it could lead to perhaps it could lead to an intelligent, honest conversation. Unfortunately, the problem is that once people are addicted to politics, they do not know how to have an honest conversation. They can only have a victim-victimizer political conversation. And, what's the one thing that I will say is good about this crazy direction that we've been in for a decent spell is it is revealing, though unpleasant, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom in a particular theory before you can start to move for the surface. And I think things had to reach critical mass. A lot of things had to be carried through, in this case, to their natural conclusion before people were willing to question the absolute poison of some of these ideas. And here we are, Yeah, isn't that great, man? That's some crazy, the Halloween stuff they're doing is great this year. My job is counseling. Oh my God. Oh dear. That's rough. Has that ever turned into a oh dear. Come on, you guys. What? It's not, well, it's noon here, I guess, but still. Come on. That's a lot of difficult stuff. Yes, it is. Asking for friends. You guys are hilarious. But no, I mean, it's fun because I was thinking about not that, not our current subject, but it's fun because during the height of the what cuckoo craziness of the last couple of years, I said to my son, I go, because we both love Halloween, I said, let's go and go like crazy, go all out with our Halloween decorations this year. And it's funny, you know, I mean, like little things like that. People actually were telling my wife and saying, you know, I love that you guys went all out this year for Halloween. Nobody was decorating and doing any of that stuff. And it just made me smile. It felt like, you know, it brought a little bit of positivity to things. So you never know, guys. You know, if you're that lunatic who decorates your house for Halloween and goes full tilt on it, you never know. It might be that thing that lifts somebody up and makes somebody have a better day. You know, Ellie saying, I can't, you guys, I cannot read the chat for a while. You guys have gone off the rails. Off the rails. Lord, you know, we still haven't hit stage, you know, 2 where we start talking about food and everybody gets hungry, which is the next stage. Actually, I probably just started it. You know, when we start talking about chicken fried steak. God, I need some chicken, man. Where is B Rose? I imagine B Rose does, like, you know, special forces chicken delivery, like, you know, just suddenly crashes through your window, you know, on a line and like in Christmas Vacation, you know, and then hands you some chicken and then disappears. That's what I imagine anyway. But I can't speak to it. I don't want to speak for B Rose. You know, that's how it is. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Well, guys, listen, you know, I'm out of this place ASAP, totally burnt out. We'll never do social services again. Well, listen, thank you for your work, Prince Admiral Wackass. We do appreciate you, my friend. And you know, seriously, you know what they say, in the event the cabin depressurizes, secure your own oxygen mask first. So when you're helping others, make sure you're also taking care of yourself, because that's important, man. Yeah, absolutely. Laugh out loud. Sean talked himself into food this time. I will. It will get there. Management don't support staff, enable bad behaviors. Ain't that the truth? The bureaucracy is the bureaucracy. You should get some honey barbecued chicken, nice herb glaze, just a little bit of caramelized on the skin. You're killing me, people. You're absolutely killing me. But yeah, man. Yeah, I love my foods. I love my foods. Well, you know what's so funny too is because you know, there's a lot of us who've got families. Some of us have got younger kids or kids who are you know, almost to adulthood, and the time that you put in is so important. You only get that, you know, that time once, and so every now and again you'll see us, and I know you guys support it. Where we're like, I gotta take some time with my family, man. It's like, I know Ethan and Andrea does a ton, and she's working nonstop, but you know, Ethan's got a little one, and they need some time, man. They need your support, and they need dad there, and mommy needs the husband there. You know, it is what it is. And you know, I know Tug's little one had to have some surgery not long ago or whatever, and he was posting about that when they were in the hospital. And it's like, those kinds of things are big context. You know, those kinds of things are big context when you're doing anything, whatever you do for a living. I know all of you guys, it's the same with you. You know, it's all about that. Those things context you, man. CG does need its own food channel. You're right. It does. Yeah, politics do kill the spirit. CG eats. Yeah, that's got to happen, man. CG eats. Yeah, man. I love, I know I've said this before, but my favorite meal of all time, full stop, and I know Mandy Summers knows what I'm talking about, is chicken fried steak, man. That is it for me. Best meal. Although I will say this, I do like, if I'm eating steak, which life is good if I find myself suddenly eating steak, but I do love a steak medium rare with béarnaise sauce. That is some delicious stuff. And that is where my wife has taken me out for on my birthday, so can't complain. Love a good steak. No getting around it. And ribs. Let's be honest. I do love some ribs. Gabe and I, we have this joke, because he said to me when he first met me, he goes, okay, I got to ask you this very vital question. What do you prefer? Or steak or pork or beef ribs? And I was like, both. He laughed. Yeah. So if I go out to San Diego sometime, which I'm probably going to do at some point, I got to go out for ribs with Gabe. We got to get some food, man. Yeah, tall, cool glass of fresh lemonade. Amen. And there's Mandy Summers' channel. You're so right. The words you say are some of the most important words. For your kids. It's absolutely true for the rest of their lives. How they perceive and deal with the world based on that example, how you deal with it. You're absolutely right. Can't go wrong with medium rare steak. You cannot. It is so good. Yeah, it sounds fancy. It's not too fancy, but it's a restaurant up the road. It's good. I mean, it's fancy for me. McDonald's is my baseline, so yeah. Pulled pork sandwiches, gotta love it. I love a good steak and cheese too. Philly cheesesteak is great. Golden Corral Sunday morning buffet. God, man, you guys are speaking my language. Gotta love that stuff, man. Got to love it. It is a necessity. It is a rule. Love it. There we go. Drop a little bit of warm in there. Sometimes you'll just look at a shadow on something and think that shadow could use not just be a little bit darker, but give it a little bit of warmth in there, and it'll kick off the green and move that forward. And that's one of those things that is fun about doing these. Is the last stage of doing the painting is where you really get to kind of step back and look at it and just sort of say, okay, where is there room for me to go a little crazy in here with the color? Is there a room for me to push it? Like when people back my stuff, a big part of people, when people talk about my work is they're like going, I love what you do with color. And so I feel a responsibility to, really go for it, with the color and make it something that they look at and they keep having that experience. Let's see what we got here. 13 people here in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. My God, you guys are maniacs. Golden Cross Night. Ribs with Gabe. Sounds like a food show. Oh, we're doing a double impact. We will get, if I fly across the country, we've got to get Jericho down there because Jericho's in Cali, and we'll do a eat meat till they have to take me to the ER because, is what it is. I'm ready for a beef law sandwich. Yeah, beef law, man. I can't wait. 2 words, Sean, with bacon candy. I'm there. That sounds like, the name of my high school sweetheart. That's the Dirty Roofers cracking me up, man. Yeah. Yeah, I love breakfast too, man. That's why I love the Waffle House. That's why we've got the Waffle Lodge here, man. Going to Waffle House at 2 a.m, breakfast anytime, 24 hours a day, and getting some eggs, some sausage links, some bacon, and some waffles, and enjoying the hell out of myself because I love breakfast food, man. My family and my wife, God bless her, is also a breakfast anytime kind of gal, and I love eating breakfast for dinner. That is one of the great joys of living in a free society is breakfast for dinner. It's like eggs and bacon for dinner. I love that kind of stuff, man. Breakfast anytime is no time like the right time, but when it comes with breakfast, anytime is the right time. There we go. Those worms are starting to kind of add just a little bit to that mint green. What is up, Citizen Ronan? Great to see you. I'm a French toast man. Hail everyone. Respect to you. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. What's up, Gabe? Pancakes versus waffles versus French toast. The answer is pancakes. Gabe is a man of certainty. He speaks with conviction. He knows what he wants. And when we go out to dine, I shall say, Gabe, what shall I have at this restaurant? Because I know you can't miss with a Gabe selection. And Gabe and I have one thing in common, which is we don't drink alcohol, but we don't mind having dinner that had parents, and we love our meats. So thank freaking God. Beef law is the only law, chat. It's the only law. Just ask my brother. Shant will have all 3. You're darn right I will. Gabe knows. Gabe knows. Yeah, hail. Everybody's saying hello. French toast, man. Hello, Gabe. Much love in the chat for Gabe. I'm looking forward to tonight, man. They have not even seen that intro yet. Gabe, they're going to die laughing when they see that intro. We're going to have fun tonight, man. We're going to have fun talking about movies tonight, man. I'm excited about talking about Roadhouse. There's my other headphone. Let's see if it's charged enough. Breakfast panini burritos, man. Yeah, those aren't bad. Those aren't bad at all. I'll have some great, I've had some great pancakes and waffles. I have time. Yeah, you're right. In the same way. What about the pigs in a blanket, guys? I will eat anything, man. I grew up eating like freaking any junk I could find. Cracker Barrel French toast for the win. Indeed, breakfast burritos are good. French toast because it has animal product in it. Well spotted, Scotsley. Well spotted. Gary's here. Breakfast anytime is my favorite. Yeah, Gary, I knew you were the man. Is my favorite. I like to order pancakes during the Renaissance. Indeed. Yeah, man. You got to have pancakes. Pancakes is the main thing you need. Roadhouse, 7 p.m. Pacific, guys, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his channel. We're going to be talking about Roadhouse. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have the main man, my can of spam. It's all about money. Gabe El Taib on his channel. Myself, and of course, Jericho Green. What will the intro be? You'll have to tune in to see it, guys. Make sure you hit that reminder bell. Gabe, drop I don't know if you set it up yet, but either way, drop the link to Gabe's channel, and once that's up, we'll stay tuned to Gabe's Twitter and my Twitter because we'll be tweeting that out. Blitz anyone? There you go. Look at this, guys. The food is official. Gary Martin's Instagram. Know it, live it, love it. It's good stuff. You have never seen Roadhouse before. It's completely insane. Gabe, remind me to show my first comic book. I was in love with the Doctor in Roadhouse. Many a line from that movie were things I love. You know, pain don't hurt comes to mind. It's great stuff. Yeah, there is Gabe's YouTube channel. Do check it out, guys. And do check out Gary Martin, man. Gary Martin's the man. Shout back to work, Cranberry. You go and get your work on. And thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. Waffle burritos, just sub out the tortilla. My God. And Belgian waffle brings the breakfast to another level. Word. Gabe, what? That is just criminal. It happens, man. YouTube, Gabe LT, watch us here at 7 p.m. Gabe is telling you guys what it is, man. Make sure you're tuned in because we have hours of silliness and fun when we do these streams. You guys make it so worth it because you bring the infectious enthusiasm. And the good time you see us happening, we never have to fake it because we love these movies. It's high time they had the spotlight put on them. I think there's a whole generation of people discovering these movies and realizing like, oh, this is what's been missing in my life. A little bit of testosterone, a little bit of action, a little bit of ripping throats out. You know, we're back-to-back throat rippings with Under Siege and Roadhouse. So how could you miss? It's going to be a great night. We are going to have fun. That is what it's about. That is what it's about, kids. Don't forget. Do not forget. Oh, my goodness gracious. For those of you guys who did tune in to find out what the weather was like in your neck of the woods, Palmdale is at 92 degrees right now. That's right. Palmdale is at 92 degrees on its way to a high of 108. The low today is going to be 75 degrees. Yeah, I've decided to offer a weather service as a part of this channel when I'm streaming, when people need to know what the weather's like in their neck of the woods. That's what I'm here for, folks. That is what I'm here for. All righty, gang. Let me just take a look at this thing here. I got more to do up top with the smoke border there. Got the worms I need there. Could be some more contrast there. That bat's looking all right. Skull's looking okay. Scales right there. I'm going to drop in some contrast notes before I forget to do it because that's important. White, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange. And now we're going to drop that contrast in. Where do I want to start? I think I'll start right there. There we are. Roll the brush, get a decent point on it. Step back. There you go. There we go. That's going to be fun. Just get a little bit of fun color right in there just to play off of that. And there you go. Bigfoot, the monster truck, was a celebrity of sorts in the 80s. I was laughing when it showed up in the movie. I'm telling you, Bigfoot is a celebrity. Know it. Stone Cold is so good indeed. Yo, Gabe. Everybody saying hello. Brian Bosworth in Stone Cold is another one worth checking out. We absolutely will, guys. It's going to happen. The demons look menacing and derpy at the same time. That's right. That's how it goes. Oh, my God. You guys are cracking me up. What's up, citizen? Everybody is saying hello. Find out where things are streaming at justwatch.com. That is the truth. That is the truth. That is where you go to find out where things are streaming, folks. The chat is a great place to get very important information. And we know this. We know this about the chat. If you want good information, you want good intel, Comicsgate chat, man, that's where you go. Everybody knows that. All righty, let's see here. Put a little bit in there, in there. And let that just kind of fade out right there. Still want to bring that out just a little bit more. Just kind of have a little bit of an idiosyncratic approach to a couple of these things. It just keeps it moving and it keeps it alive, keeps the energy in there. Yeah, Bigfoot. I remember the cartoon show. I saw Bigfoot. Actually, no, I didn't see Bigfoot. Sorry. I saw Bigfoot's the discount, the Pepsi of Bigfoot. I'm sorry to insult the monster truck, by the way, but I went to a monster truck rally when I was a kid. I did see Gravedigger, but I saw Barefoot. I wanted to see Bigfoot. I had a Bigfoot toy, and I was obsessed with it when I was a kid. That had like a gear shift in the back for different speeds. You could go forward and backwards, and you could just make it run over things, and it was the best thing ever. Loved that thing. Gotta love monster trucks. Monster trucks are important, folks. And that's actually the monster truck commercial I heard when I was a kid was the influence for the Battle Brick Road to 100K video I did. All right, I think we're getting there, guys. Let's take a look. I just realized I was painting off frame. Sorry about that, folks. Must have hit the line. But there, right there, is the texture on the snake, and you can see how that's starting to flow in this piece. But this is where we are right now. It's the last day on. I loved robotics. Are you kidding? Loved that show and Bigfoot and Gem Power Hour when I was a kid. Yep, watched all those. Bront was my robotics of choice. I had that one, which is the wheels and it did the walk thing. That was so cool. All right, gang. So I'm at 3 hours and 45 minutes. A decent showing. And I'm going to wrap up here so I can grab some food. My hand's getting a little bit shaky, so I got to do something about it. Another movie you guys should check out, though it isn't 80s, 90s, is Charles Bronson in Hard Times. We did do a Charles Bronson, of course. We did do Death Wish, but yeah, we're game for anything Charles Bronson. He's an honorary member of Double Impact as far as we're concerned. But yeah, Bronson was a big one for us when we did that one. Actually, Gabe, the one thing I will say is I was just watching our stream where we talked about Lethal Weapon, and we were comparing it to It's a Wonderful Life. And boy, that was an amazing stream. We had a good time. It was cool. Scottsley, it is great to see. I will go grab some waffles and some food. Prince Admiral Wackass, you have a great day, my friend. Take care. Stay strong and stay positive. We're here to entertain and hopefully make the world a little bit easier, man, on a tough day. So you just keep going, guys. Stay inspired. I'm going to play us out with our song. Much love to all of you guys. Have a great day wherever you are in your neck of the woods. We'll keep painting. We'll keep doing stuff. And you guys stay gold. All right. Take care, and I'll see you soon.
Here's a little something for you busters. Yeah.
You're not even learning anything on the street.
Yeah.
You think I'm stupid, son?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say to you, boy?
Yeah.
Do ya?
What's up with that?
Look at me, damn it!
Y'all cowards don't even smoke crack. What's up with
You
that?
smoke crack, don't you?
Y'all cowards don't even smoke crack.
Look at me, boy!
Hey to
You
you,
smoke crack, don't you?
don't even smoke crack.
You know what that does to you? Huh? You smoke crack, don't you?
Smoke crack.
Go on and do it expeditiously.
What's up with that?
It kills your brain cells, son. It kills your brain cells.
Don't even smoke crack.
No guts, huh?
I apologize. I forgot you were there. You may go now.